Target.com.
How many did you buy, Don?
Just 2.
Okay.
The joints on mine are super tight, except for the left arm, which wants to pop off constantly.
I don't have that problem. My concern is the hinge under the car hood where the back wheels flip out.
Oh yeah, that I didn't understand why that wasn't coming out when I was trying to.
I ended up actually trimming what I could off of the little notch on that arm, so it wouldn't have such a catch. Hopefully that will keep that clear plastic from breaking eventually. I'll talk about it more, I guess, during actual showtime, but...
A couple people hit me up and they're like, hey, I see this figure, do you want it? And I'm like, no, I don't want the Cyberverse. I just want the War for Cybertron, or the Cybertron trilogy, whatever we want to call it.
Well, as soon as I get a shipping notice from Target, I'll be canceling the ones I have elsewhere, and I want to sell the McAdams parts if anybody needs them. So that way, because I'm not building McAdams, so that way that'll help someone get the parts who can't find the figure.
Okay.
I'm thinking of keeping the hammer because RC can hold it just fine.
You might want to say that for whatever incarnation of Magnus we get next. Probably not.
That'll be like the leader class Magnus hammer for like 6 years from now.
Probably.
Okay, we are streaming YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Facebook is one I couldn't remember. So, new house, symmetrical gigabit. I'm so excited.
Well, that's the only thing Giga you've been able to get in the past 2 weeks, so congratulations.
What are they?
I get that reference.
Yeah.
Gigawatt.
Yeah. Gigawatt.
Oh. Yeah, I'll have 1.21 gigabits.
I still think I'm hitting...
I wish we could get show titles from pre-show, because...
Yeah.
Sorry, Massey. I didn't know you were there. No, I'm not opening up the window. No.
Yeah, congratulations, Brian. You'll finally have internet on par with Hey Mickey.
I thought he's like 40 megabit symmetrical or something like that. It's a
gigabit. No, he's got gigabit. Chattanooga has had symmetrical gigabit fiber for years.
I mean, I had it in the boonies. I just didn't. It was super expensive. It was $400 a month where I used to live.
I can guarantee you, Hey Mickey and his family are not paying. Oh no,
it's $50 at the new house. It's $50 a month.
I mean, they got it bundled in with cable and shit. So like, I'm sure their bill is probably close to $200, but it's not just for the internet.
The bundle, the starting bundle is like $94 for like 100 channels and gigabit.
Yeah, channels nobody wants to watch though.
I know it's the only channel that I don't have that I want is Disney XD. It's the only thing I'm missing. I'll have to figure out how to get that.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I definitely have another. What was that G.I. Joe vehicle you were talking about on Twitter? Yeah, because I got everything that had said Hasbro. I got 2 of everything because I didn't know, like, I couldn't even tell the difference between Joe and Marvel and Transformers when I ordered all the stuff.
It was a mess. But we'll talk about that more later.
Yeah.
Hopefully with John being here.
But I was like, oh, look.
Excuse me.
I ordered G.I. Joe stuff. I'm like, do I really want this G.I. Joe stuff? I mean, the one thing I'll take because, you know.
I don't know.
The one G.I. Joe vehicle, not the one you were asking about, the other one.
The Hiss?
The Hiss, yeah. I'm like,
okay.
I should have a Hiss.
It's a boring vehicle. The Striker's less boring.
Maybe I should hold out hope for a new Arctic Blast.
I don't know if they'll have that in the only 3 waves that come out for that toy line. Probably not.
Oh, you think it'll have only 3 waves?
No, it'll be announced for the 4th wave, and it'll be canceled before the 4th wave comes out. What? No. No.
Hey, Diecast, is your house wired for Ethernet? Did you wire it?
No.
Okay. That's something I'm going to have to do.
I did everything. Everything's wireless. Everything works fine. The only thing I have that's actually wired is either all in the closet right there and this computer, because I ran a line out just for this computer.
I'm probably gonna put the main hookup for the internet in the basement, which is where I'll live. I'm not living there, but
that's the best thing to do.
Yeah,
honestly.
And probably what I'll do for the rest of the house, since I don't want to have to cut anything or do much of anything, I'm gonna probably just run it through the coax. I'll do Ethernet to coax, which works really well. Apparently, it works so much better than Ethernet over power, which sucks.
Well, I do have the whole house is wired for coaxial, so
you can convert that over, and it only adds like a very small lag as it makes the hop from coax to Ethernet. There's a little bit of transformation.
I mean, for any normal user, it'd be imperceptible.
Like 3 milliseconds on the review that I saw.
Yeah, you can't tell 3 milliseconds.
No.
Now, if
honestly,
you
I
have to
won't
convert
even
back
need
and
it.
forth several times, then yeah, it's going to build up and it's going to probably start to kind of smack you in the face a little bit. But
Dungeon Master, exactly.
Now, Brian, I thought whenever you went to coax, because of the loss of signal per foot of coax, you usually didn't want to do that for long distances.
You lose signal over any type of copper.
Oh, okay.
So coax is a lot thicker. There's more. So basically, the signal travels on the outside of the wiring. So coax, because it's bigger, has more surface area than what you get with
Right.
Ethernet. But it still has to translate the whole thing over. So that's not exactly a one apples to apples.
Okay.
But it's fine. It's not as good as running Ethernet, but it's better than not having Ethernet at all.
Well, back in the day when I was selling electronics at service merchandise, that was
Take a drink.
take a drink. Yes, sorry.
Raise a
That
glass.
because people were trying to wire their stereos and everything. Like I want to have a stereo down here and have the speakers upstairs, and it's like, yeah, you could do that, but you can't do that with like one cable box to every TV in the house, because that's a lot of coax that you're running. And
It's the splitting of it that's the bigger
Yeah.
deal with that than
Yeah.
just the length of the coax.
yeah, but I'm saying, I remember one guy wanted to run 6 TVs off of one splitter box. It's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
now TF just put in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, Siege at Ross now, with a picture of Barricade and Mirage, reportedly using the
$8.
6-gun impact behind.
Yeah,
Wow.
something to.
I haven't been to Ross in forever.
Yeah, it might be worth me going and looking the next time I'm out to see if I can pick up a spare Mirage for when the clear plastic on my primary one inevitably breaks.
And it's weird. I got a $8 gift card for Marshalls. It's like, oh, I can't win.
Is
I
it
have a
Marshalls?
Marshall next door to a Ross.
Yeah, no, it's not Which company is the same as Ross, or is it?
Ross is its own thing. Marshalls
yeah.
and TJ Maxx are the
Okay.
one of
Yeah, they're
two
connected.
brands.
Yeah.
So I'm back now to about 4 hours of sleep a night. I don't feel any worse for the wear. It's pretty great.
Well, Brian,
Okay, so I like the Skype update because before I could only get 4 people on my screen at one time, and now John just popped on audio only, but like everybody's window is up here now. It's like how Skype used to be before they broke it. grid preview is what I've got selected.
Oh, okay. I guess that... Can I drag John down then? Yes, I can.
Maybe?
Yeah, I can. Look at that.
Where'd you go to see that setting in appearance?
Upper right corner of the screen-ish. It's the third icon to the left. So there's your preview window, there's the round one, and then there's the little rectangle.
You may have different ones. You have the preview window, and there may be people. Like there's an add button where you can add somebody, then the thing that looks kind of like a frame or a screen with a drop-down icon. Call layout is what it's the menu.
He's never going to find it.
Call layout. Yeah, I got it.
So really what you have to do, though, if you have somebody nested in the top, you have to grab their icon and drag it down.
Yeah. Although John popped into my window automatically when he joined.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it worked. Woohoo.
So I'm not sure what's up with that.
Let's see if I can take Don away. I just did. Look at that. And I can add him back.
What have I done now?
Nothing, Don.
You're fine, Don.
Okay.
Your background noise isn't even bad so far.
Yeah, don't even notice it.
Hey, Chris, my Triptychon and Skylinks are in, or I'm sorry, Scorponok. I keep
That makes
calling
more
it
sense.
brain no worky.
Yeah, same here.
But yeah, they're in stock at Big Bad Toy Store, and I hit ship
When did you hit ship?
today or yesterday, so maybe I'll see that in like 2
I hit
weeks.
ship Saturday. They haven't shipped yet.
Yeah, probably that will go out on their FedEx truck like Friday afternoon or evening.
I hope.
I'm just going to let mine sit until a couple more pre-orders come in.
That makes sense. I mean, hubcap isn't going to be too much longer, for one thing.
I mean, just Triptychon or
Scorponok.
did it again.
I
Scorponok and Skylinks alone was enough to be like, yeah, I'm going to ship them.
I fully expect to find those at Target before my big bad order ships.
You know, I know my local Target has it too because the inventory shows it, but they're not on the shelf.
So they probably will be after this weekend.
My Target's
There's apparently
typically
a toy reset happening again this weekend.
yeah, but my Target's typically if the reset is on the weekend, they don't do it till a couple days after. So
Yeah, I stopped by my Target today on my lunch break, and they were redoing the Lego row and a few other rows. So yeah, it's something to look for.
I've
In a
heard
couple of days.
Movie Masterpiece Starscream may be part of the reset, so that may be like on shelves next week.
that would be crazy because I haven't seen too much from that.
What was the retail on that? $149.
Yeah, somewhere between 130 and 150, I think.
Wow.
Because it's basically Megatron size.
My what is it? Target started. Never mind. Brain networky.
Walmart is resetting their planogram in toys here
That's it.
this week, and
Yeah.
fortunately,
that's what it's-
Transformers did not lose space this time.
Did they have Masters of the Universe Origins?
I didn't. I all I saw was the Masters of the Universe and the Wrestling Men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my local Walmart is still in the clearance stage of the reset. They haven't started tearing the aisles apart yet, but there's a lot of stuff on clearance, like $3 Mega Constructs, and some of the handheld video games are like Defender's like $7. I wish I loved Defender more, so I can get that little tabletop arcade, but it's Defender. I played Defender for 9 hours straight with my friend Shannon when we were kids. 9 hours on a 2600. My hands were so cramped.
Yeah, I bet.
You played on the 2600? Yeah,
Yeah.
You'd have to. Holy crap!
We played Defender for about 9 hours straight.
I can't play the 2600 for more than like 30 seconds at a time.
I remember when I was like 11 or 12 with my Super Nintendo, pretty much literally wearing a hole in my thumb from the controller.
And what's weird is I other than the cramping, I had no problem with the 2600 controller. But them 5200 controllers, I hated them things.
I'm
It's
not
like
surprised.
It's like you were trying to
never
handle
great.
a brick.
If you can see
You're
my
trying to
video,
handle a brick.
of course,
Yeah.
this is the layout of the 2600 controller here.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
This is a new one. So that's a Hyperkin. But Hyperkin also did this, which I'm actually excited to use more of this. They made a smaller controller that has the one button, the joystick, and the twist knob for Pong clones.
Oh, very nice.
And you can use it. There's a switch where you can use it as a lefty or a righty. You can flip it.
Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was at the Walmart today. Had to get some Massey food. I went through electronics to check their collectibles.
Tom, I thought you were the Massey food.
Yeah.
Well, it's not as bad since I got his claws trimmed, so it's not quite as bad. But
Okay, so you were in electronics.
Yeah, I was in electronics, and they actually got in for the first time since probably right after Christmas. The Street Fighter, Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, Punisher cabinet. And I asked one of the guys to scan, thinking, "Please be $50. Please be $50. $2.99."
Yeah, that one. I didn't. Did that one go on clearance?
No, I mean, I figured by this point it might be, but it was still scanning the $2.99. They had 2 Turtles in Time cabinets, the same 2 Mortal Kombat cabinets, and they added that.
Are the Mortal Kombat cabinet? Oh no, the Street Fighter cabinets. Did they ever go on clearance?
Yes.
Yeah, the Street Fighter Turbo, and the third one was like $50.
There's no Street Fighter Turbo cabinet.
I thought was it?
I mean, there's Super Turbo.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I would have loved to pick up one of them.
I
For
can't
$50,
remember
but-
all the variations. No, but I will buy the one that has the Children of the Atom game on it if it ever goes on clearance.
I would love to have that one for clearance prices.
But I played. I was somewhat. Oh yeah, a couple of months ago before all this started, back when my elbow was starting to act up, we went to the local pizza place. And I tried. They've got like several of those cabinets in the game room that was set on free play, of course. And
wait, in Greensboro?
Local place called Pizza My Heart. Well, it's a chain.
Do you want a pizza, my heart?
It's actually pretty good pizza. Our CC's closed, and when this opened up, we thought, well, it's gonna be the CC's people with a new shtick. And no, this pizza actually has toppings on it, which is nice. Mm-hmm. But
sometimes CC's wasn't that bad, depending on.
Yeah, but
I guess I've never been to a good CC's because like my experience with it is always
anymore.
just like, no, they're well, I guess now they don't, but like as of last summer there were still some. But like my experience with CC's was always like, that sure is a pizza crust with a puddle of grease on top of it.
I mean,
you have to go to CC's where they don't care. And the don't care has to result in them putting too much stuff on the pizza instead of, not producing pizza.
Yeah, I was never lucky enough to find one of those.
Yeah. A long time ago, before they actually changed their barbecue that they put on the pizza, their barbecue pizza was really good.
It's just Lloyd's barbecue. That's all it is.
Yeah, I know, but that was really good. Then they went to some other kind. It was like,
I don't think they moved from Lloyd's, did they?
Yeah, they went to some. The owners knew me down there.
Okay.
Going there from time to time.
Yeah,
I cannot tell the difference. I can't tell.
Well, it was not that. It was never that busy, so they didn't have to. What do you want?
Lloyd's barbecue. Actually,
yeah. Come here.
Anyway, I'm surprised that didn't turn into a story about Don being offended that he couldn't get chili on his pizza.
How much do we get to drink if Don gets attacked by Massey again?
I don't know.
How much you got?
Yeah.
What?
About this much right now. But
So here's the thing.
How much liquor is in that?
CC's is the only place that makes buffalo chicken pizza that I don't hate. Like, I actually really love the barbecue buffalo chicken at CC's.
Well, if you get a chance to go to Pizza Inn, Brian, theirs is real.
It
theirs
sucks.
is a lot better.
I was there a couple weeks ago, Don.
Oh,
that was I'm gonna swear on pre-show. That was the shittiest pizza I've ever had.
Just that one or all of? The
whole place sucked. Yeah, it was garbage. I've had bad pizza. That was the worst pizza I've ever had.
Okay, if you're trying to push my buttons, Brian, you're succeeding. That is my favorite pizza place in the world.
No, the one in Greer, South Carolina sucks.
I drove 60 miles just one way just to go to a Pizza Inn one day.
Well, I
was driven that far in one direction to go to a special restaurant before.
Me too.
I mean,
that pizza sucked.
There was this buffet on the other side of Nashville called Koi, which was like the thing to get fresh sushi at before I found Sushi Train.
Mm-hmm.
And that was about 60 miles one way for me, and I would go there as often as I could until the day I found a roach on the sushi bar, and then that was kind of the end of that.
So Diecast, when you come down to stay at the house for a weekend or whatever, and everybody's invited, but Diecast is the only one to do it.
That's just because I don't like driving through North Carolina.
Hey, I'm actually now I'll be right off a little closer off 40. So that'd be better, I guess. Yeah. So come down. We'll go to Toy Federation, then we'll go to that really crappy Pizza Inn, and we can tell Don how horrible it was.
All right.
We'll record video.
You should invite Don to come down when Diecast visits, and then you can take him to that Pizza Inn, and you can have a debate in the dining room.
He won't do it.
Yeah, because Diecast will be there.
Yeah, to defend the honor of Pizza Inn, I may just do it. No one talks crap about my favorite pizza place.
Don, you have to accept the possibility that maybe that location is just garbage.
I'm not saying Pizza Inn in general is bad, Don. I'm saying that experience was bad.
Kidding, Brian, I'm kidding.
No,
it's like, I have a few favorite chains like Waffle House for breakfast and Pizza Inn.
Waffle House? You like Waffle House?
Oh, God, I love Waffle House. Waffle House is the bomb.
All right, give me the bomb.
Two eggs scrambled, raisin toast with apple butter, triple hash browns, double waffle.
Okay, but Don, can I get a breakfast salad there? I don't think so.
Don, how many people are you ordering for? You're like triple hash browns, double waffles?
Because the closest one is about 75 miles in any direction. So when I wind up being able to go to one, I treat myself.
I can't imagine being that far from a Waffle House, not that I ever have wanted to go to a Waffle House. So like it's just so normal for me to see them like every 5 or 6 miles.
Well, we apparently had one in town many years ago because there was a local restaurant, but you could tell by the layout of the building and the layout inside, there's nothing else that looks like that except a Waffle House. And it was on 58, which Brian knows runs all the way from Martinsville to South Boston. And I don't know how it actually never took up, why it closed. That just seems impossible there on the main drag.
Which place is this?
No, I'm saying that there was a local place that had to have been a Waffle House at one point because of the layout and design of the building.
Or just the sign probably also gives it away.
No. I'm saying it's a local line. I'm saying it's a local place now, but when you go in to eat, you can tell by the
but when a place was a Waffle House, typically they keep the sign and change the letters. It's like a Huddle House or a Waffle Hose. They just change the name.
Waffle Hose, yeah.
They change the name, but keep the sign shape.
What you see at truck stops.
Waffle Hose could be a good gimmick. Like, the waffles don't come out of the hose, but you get a plate of waffles, and then there's just hoses that you walk by where you get your syrup or your butter or jams or what have you.
When he was talking about truck stops, I was thinking waffles and hose. But I think it's something different.
Yes, Waffle Hose, HOES. We understand, I guess.
Okay. A couple minutes. Trying to decide if I want more beverage.
Well, I would.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there was someone
Drinking
on
game
Twitter
comes
was
at you
asking.
fast.
Yeah, someone on Twitter was asking about favorite restaurants that don't exist anymore. Brian, did you ever go to Po Folks when they were in this area?
Don, I never even heard of it. Did you ever hear of Rather's?
I've heard the name.
I've heard the name, but I've never been there one. But I've heard the name, I think.
So one time when I visited Hey Mickey, he took me to a Japanese restaurant that was in a building that used to be a Taco Bell.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was entertaining.
Yeah.
The food was surprisingly good for being essentially like a little hole in the wall operation like that.
We had in Greensboro, close to where I used to live, there was a Roy Rogers Hardee's combination restaurant since.
Oh, I haven't
Which was
seen a
weird.
Roy Rogers
Wow.
in forever.
I know.
I was at one about 15 years ago in Baltimore, I think.
This is about 20 years ago.
That's one of the few things that I can get. I can go get a Roy Rogers hamburger anytime I want, and they are delicious.
Yeah, but you also have to live in West Virginia.
That's in Maryland.
But you also have to live in West Virginia.
Well,
Yes,
well,
don't remind me.
with the way my girlfriend explained West Virginia,
Girlfriend.
yeah, you're kind of like right up in the thumb, is what she calls it. Like you're right there at the border. So
Yes.
you're like right there at everything.
Oh God,
You
I
just
just stopped
gotta-
myself from making a joke. I'm glad I did.
I am
Yeah.
right here, Don.
Yeah.
I love pre-show sometimes.
Well, no, that's how she was explaining to me how people in different parts of the state call where they live different body parts because the way the state is kind of shaped that way. And she was explaining to me that Matt lives in the thumb. I said the what? And then she explained to me the nomenclature of the where you live.
And just as a reminder to whoever it matters to, not saying Matt's name, but Matt, emojis come up on the video. On
Do
the
they do that
screen.
now? Like no matter what?
Yeah,
Oh, that
it just
sucks.
happened.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he didn't put up anything obscene, so it's not a big
I
deal.
put something
this time.
obscene in the chat.
That didn't come up that I saw.
Oh, good.
so. I mean, and other people have been putting stuff in the chat too, and I have not noticed that popping up on the stream. But the emojis always have. Because
great.
Skype hates us. Thank you, Skype.
Oh, great! We're the Emoji Movie sequel.
Does anybody need to go and attend to any business before showtime? And by business, I mean pooping.
Oh, we have a lot of pooping to do over a certain topic this week that I'm looking forward
That's
to.
not what I was really referring to, but I guess that means everybody's ready to go.
Let's do it. Let me
I'm
start
good to go.
recording here.
Brian, did you actually look at the show notes yet so you know what you're talking about? Because we had that problem last
I
week.
mean, I looked at it. I didn't.
Okay.
I know they exist.
Well, Rob, you don't have to know in advance what's coming up.
This is true.
Okay, let's do it. 3, 2, 1. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 684. I am Brian Kilby. We hope you're joining us right now on our Discord at tfradio.net/Discord. That would be awesome. I'm saying hey to the Discord. I'm waving at it right now, even though it's on my screen and there's no camera between it and myself. But I'm waving at our Discord because I love you. And I'm also waving at Chris, who I love, and Matt, and Don, and Diecast, and Rob, and maybe John. All people who I love. And it's Diecast's birthday, and he loves us because he's not with his family.
Well, yeah, they're upstairs.
Do you think it's not that he loves us more than his family, but he loves his family so much that he's not subjecting them to himself today on his birthday?
Yeah, that
I mean,
works.
hell, lately
That's-
I've needed a break from me, so I can kind of understand that.
Mhm.
Well, that's just the weekend is for gatherings and getting together.
Oh,
Wednesdays
yeah.
But you
is for
work on the
podcasting.
weekends.
Yeah, but that's during the day. not-
He didn't say it was for gatherings with his family.
Ah, right, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I love how, at least on the stream video, I'm seeing Don and Diecast are wearing the identical color shirt.
It's close.
It's very close, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Don is more like a highlighter, and Diecast is more of just like a desaturated yellow.
And
yeah.
Diecast looks more like someone who knows what they're doing is washing it. Because of that commercial, like the guy has the
The
eunuch.
half washed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want,
Don's muted.
Don's
but
muted and
he's yelling at us.
yeah. Sorry, Don.
This is green, and it's my comfy shirt.
No.
It doesn't show up as green on the stream, Don.
I know.
I thought it was vaguely green.
Yeah, in this light, it shows as yellow, but it's green.
So
It's a vaguely pukey green, but it's kind of green.
I remember being single. My wife handles most of the laundry, almost all of it, because she won't allow me to do it. Because I used to handle laundry sometimes like I would handle dishes, which is I would just get rid of stuff and go buy new, so I didn't have to wash it.
Well, if you want, I can take it off. If it offends.
No, it doesn't.
No, Don. No.
They're done. You're good.
Inappropriate.
The secret is to be bad at chores. John typed into our chat. This is true. This is true.
And Rob is also correct in what he said in the Skype chat, which won't mean anything to anybody but me.
Oh, yeah.
Although that's actually more of a mint color, but we digress.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Toy Detectives recording now.
So, hey, Chris, do you have anything to show off toy-wise this week?
I've got a couple things, but it won't take long once we get there.
Let's go ahead and just move to that. Your audio is crapping out, so we probably should, after you do that, cut to just audio only.
Well, that sucks. Oh, it has been storming here, so that might be partly why. So I have Cyberverse RC.
You like it?
Got that from Target's website. It is extremely average. It's my first Cyberverse Deluxe, and I don't think it's bad at all. The joint strength, joint tolerances all feel pretty good. It's actually a lot smoother and stronger than I thought it would be. It's not engineering-wise any more involved or better, really, than the Earthrise equivalent, but it's at least something different. It's not just trying to one-for-one ape what GC looked like. And it also does not insult me by pretending that removing 80% of the vehicle mode is a hoverboard for the robot. It wears its car, but it wears its car. Let's just be honest. I also like the car mode of this better than the Generations option. The only real problem I see with this, from a design standpoint, is that this whole back section here is clear plastic, and there's a pin hinge underneath here for the back wheels and the quarter panels to fold out on, and that is super, super stiff and tight, and I'm pretty sure that clear plastic part of that hinge is going to break someday. And possibly not even a very long someday. I have already trimmed plastic off of that to make it move a little bit more smoothly. But I am still very afraid of that. I think I had one more point I wanted to bring. Oh, yeah. So the one place that the joint strength is bad is the ankle rockers, which I literally have to use two hands to tilt either one of these feet in either direction. It's kind of insane, and I hate that part of it.
Oh my God, you're right.
But otherwise, the ankle stiffness is really good because it's got long heels, and it has absolutely no problem supporting this massive backpack that is most of the mass of the toy. So yeah, I mean, it's not it's not really a qualitative improvement over getting the Earthrise one as such. But for me, it was the better option between the two, and I am not dissatisfied with this at all. I would actually like to see some white paint on it in a few places, like the helmet. But it looks good. It feels good in hand, and if you only end up getting one Cyberverse Deluxe, probably get Thunder Howl instead. That'll probably be more interesting, to be honest. But I don't think Don will be disappointed when he gets his RC.
The thing about this, they've overcorrected. Some of the first wave deluxes were way too floppy. So it's kind of like, I don't know that it was intentional, but the joint, the stiffness of this is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for having to support the huge backpack like that, I'm fine with this outcome. Because if it had any less joint strength, it would probably have a tipping problem. The other thing I got is a box full of Snake.
What?
Well, let me explain. So I got Slitherfang.
How many? Oh.
Slitherfang.
2.
Slitherfang.
3.
Slitherfang.
4. Ha ha ha.
Slitherfang.
5.
And Slitherfang.
How many is that? 6?
6 Slitherfangs.
6.
Okay. I didn't mention. I have 5. I didn't mention that last week. I just said I had 1. I bought 5.
So I could have bought 5 and met Target.com's order minimum, but I would have had to pay shipping on top of that. If I added another Slitherfang, which was $6, I got free shipping, whereas the shipping on 5 of them would have been like $8.50. So,
Yeah.
it was cheaper to just buy another toy than to actually pay for the shipping.
I just bought out all of the Slitherfangs and rungs that my local Target had.
Yeah, I just bought out Target.com, except I didn't because they stayed in stock for hours. Probably because nobody else wanted to buy 5 or 6 of them to meet an order minimum.
Yeah.
No, okay, so with Battle Masters or Micromasters, because they're small things and the cost of the shipping is not economical, you have to have a $25 minimum order to actually buy them. And the way the Earthrise stuff has been coming in stock on Target is very sporadic and not in groups. So you either buy a bunch of one thing, or if you have other household needs, you can get on Target's website. You could do that to fill in the order value. But I just went with that because, more ramps is good. And also, I could probably, if it comes to it at some later point, someone will probably need an extra Slitherfang or something. And I doubt I'm going to open all of these all at once. So we'll see how that plays out. But, I have his planks, as I'm calling them.
That's a great name.
I like
And
it.
that's well, I got a replacement exhaust in, and the only thing I'll mention with that is it does still have a kind of bad right knee like my first one did, but not as bad.
Okay.
So somewhat of a disappointment, but it's good enough that I will deal with it instead of trying to roll for a third one. And with that, I'm being advised to turn my video off, so
So, yeah, I haven't opened all of my sound barriers yet. They're all boxed up somewhere now.
I bought a bunch of Micromasters as Siege was coming to an end, and no, I opened my Earthrise First Wave Micromasters, but most of my Siege Micromasters I bought toward the end of that line. I still haven't opened. I haven't opened the sound barriers. I've got a bunch of Mega Construx minifigures that I haven't opened yet.
Yeah.
Theoretically, these are all things that are if I'm feeling really depressed someday or really bored, maybe I'll open some of these and get some entertainment out of that. It just hasn't gotten to that point yet. Instead, I end up just going back to bed.
Cool. Who else got something? Don.
Yes. Two things off topic. The friend that found his original Lightspeed Rescue Morpher, I tested it out. It works. Although some of the lights don't quite want to blink all the time, so he let me get it for 30 instead of 40. So now I have a Lightspeed Rescue Morpher.
Nice.
And when I went to Walmart the other day, I decided to get Scarlet. I figured the ladies in this line are going to be thin and far between. And that's not a bad looking Scarlet. I really kind of like that figure. It's sort of like a not quite their G1, not quite their G2 looks. It's kind of like a middle ground on the outfit, but I like it. So I figured I'll pick up the ladies of G.I. Joe if nothing else, because it's a good looking figure. It's well painted. The face sculpt looks pretty good. So I decided to pick her up.
It's a good figure.
Yeah. Again, I'm gonna extremely cherry pick the Joe line. Other than that one and Hip Daddy Destro.
Are you opening her, Don?
I
People
haven't
are raving
decided
about
yet.
her.
Well, see, I've with everything going on, as I told y'all last week, and everything I've got going on in real life, I've taken down a lot of my displays and stuff, and one of them was my ladies shelf that I kept all my female figures and stuff like that.
It was making the girlfriend
I don't
uncomfortable,
remember
wasn't
the
it?
lady shelf, Don.
Well, it was like all my RCs, and it was Go Go Tamago from Big Hero 6, and it was the Sailor Moon Kotobukiya statuettes that I had. It was the female Autobot from Rescue Bots that Night Shadow.
Quick Shadow, wasn't it?
Quick Shadow. Thank you. Yes. Quick Shadow. All my female characters I was putting on one shelf because there's not that many, and it makes for a nice display. So she's going to go back on that shelf when I recreate it. On topic, I got my first third party kit, accessory kit, probably since I bought the BotCon Golden Discs and the Reader all those years ago. I got Non-F's Optimus Prime kit in blue for the Earthrise Optimus trailer. And I got the Sideswipe G2 Bandolier weapon set.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes, so, because that figure, if he's going to be G2 Sideswipe, he needs to look like G2 Sideswipe. So there's that. So I will be doing that at some point. I picked up today, Exhaust came in from Hasbro Toy Shop, which was a really fast turnaround that I really wasn't expecting.
Yeah,
So
I think the ship date on that was like August 11th.
Yeah, it wasn't that far out, but it wasn't like that near either.
Yeah.
So I got Grease Pit and Exhaust. I got those. Today I got a box. Yesterday I got a box from Amazon, tfradio.net/Amazon. Double dealer. Got Double Dealer in. Because the one at Target was street dated and I could not buy it 2 weeks ago.
Oops.
Yep.
Don gets turned down at Target more than anybody.
And I got Living Impaired Optimus Prime.
He's not living impaired.
Yeah, so I got Living
he's
Impaired Optimus
sleeping.
Prime.
He was just sent to another dimension.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
sleeping.
And then today, I found Snapdragon.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Oh, congrats.
good job, Walmart.
Yep. So I picked him up when I was again. I had to stop in for a few groceries, and we got Snapdragon, and looking forward to opening. I've heard some good things about him. Like everything that went wrong with A-Face, Snapdragon is apparently doing right. Of course, I've said before, Snapdragon always used the mass of his modes better because A-Face was always a flying plane with a plank. I mean, it was really just that. But so there's I'm trying to get myself centered there. I didn't realize.
Motion sickness.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was that catty-whoppered. So yeah, that's catty-whoppered is a word. It's a colloquialism, but it is a word.
So, did they only have the one Snapdragon when you were there, Don?
Yeah, they had two Snapdragons and then one reship of Starscream. So they're
Okay, so you saw a freshly stocked out case then, because Earthrise Voyagers are shipping 3 to a box instead of 2 to a box like it's been for the last few years.
right. Yeah, it was Starscream and then the two Snapdragons. I'm glad it wasn't the other way around. Otherwise, I may not have. I must have been there not long after they put it out.
Yeah.
Did you buy both Snapdragons?
Nope, I left one for the next person.
Oh, that's nice.
There you go.
I mean, I like doing the Dononomics like everybody else, but I mean, I'm not going to be a jerk about it. Oh, and I do have the clones. I did pick up 3 of the clones. I left 2 on the shelf. One was for me. One is already spoken for, so if anyone needs the Decepticon clones from Target, I do have an extra, just retail and tax and shipping. If anyone needs it, hit me up on Twitter. I'll give you my information at the end of the show.
I've heard some Target locations may be marking down the clones already to $17.50.
Oh wow! I'll have to keep. I was there today, and they just had They had one of the 2 sets that I left the other day, and they were still regular price. They had one of the $14 Quintesson Cyberverse sets, but that's the only other Transformer stuff I've seen marked down was that Cyberverse set.
Blade Raider's asking what the retail on the clones is anyway. $24.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really make any smart-ass comments about you buying those extra clone sets to move like that, since I, went through 6 or 7 Seeker 2-packs to do the same thing, basically.
Yeah, but you repurpose.
Well, it seems like the clone.
Well, yeah, that's what Don's doing too. Like he bought them to pass on that cost, which is the same thing I did.
Yeah.
Of course, I also kind of did that out of defiance of Target's website, because I was just sick of the whole stupidity of how those were coming in stock. And once I beat the system, it's like, yeah, no, you know what? Screw you. I'm going to keep buying these. Because
Well,
I have problems.
Well, no, I mean, you broke the code, and you were able to pick up stuff for people who couldn't get it.
Mhm.
I would have never seen that because I'm never able to be home long enough to catch that stuff. Like you're able to sit and analyze that stuff. Plus, I'm not as smart as you.
So are you saying I have no life, Don?
No, I'm saying you have better
Because
powers.
I mean, you'd be correct, but I still resent
No.
it.
No, I'm saying you have better powers, better powers of observation and deduction than I do.
That's why I'm the toy detective.
Exactly. So, but like I said, I do have that extra set if anyone needs it. I don't mind helping out because John DeLuna helped me get a set, and I'm just paying it forward.
Nice. Cool. Sorry, I had to step away. Kids.
Melvar, you got anything?
Oh yeah. So, I don't often buy Cyberverse toys, but when I do, I buy Whirl.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice.
I did not know that he had a Cyberverse toy.
Yeah, he's just like a little one-step changer, like whatever the $10 price point is, but he is just the most adorable little Whirl ever.
The most adorable little sociopath.
Absolutely. I was like, yes, I will buy that. It speaks to me.
That's a good choice.
My exhaust came in today.
Jealous.
How's the
Actually-
right knee?
The right knee is pretty bad, but he will hold a pose. He will stand. But yeah,
Okay, so that must just be endemic to the whole production then, because there's
Yeah.
too much consistency in that being like that.
yeah. I do not like that new faction symbol. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with that, but it's not attractive.
Yeah, I was waiting to get my replacement before I bought some Reaper labels to cover over that. But now that I have one, I'm going to keep. Then that's that, and the non-F parts are going to get permanent homes.
Yeah, Chris, what does the non-F set add to that? By the way,
Love.
So you get shoulder launchers, you get bigger clear blue wings. There is some optional missile launcher parts which I incorporated with some of the stock parts. It's just like finishing parts, and for $10, it adds a lot to it.
okay.
And I understand that's going to be it's in production right now, the second run of that, and it'll be up for order maybe this weekend.
I also got the non-F upgrade kit for Optimus Prime's Earthrise Optimus Prime's trailer, which adds so much to that trailer. So I'm glad I bought that. I picked up a clearance Astro Train reissue at Walmart because he finally got down to a price that I was willing to spend on that. I got Double Dealer.
Nice.
And none of his joints are terrible, but they're all looser than I would care for. I don't have the warping issues that Chris had with his, but yeah, everything fits together. But yeah, he's just not the sturdiest guy.
It's really a pity.
Yeah.
I just stopped myself from making a Warp 5 engine joke.
And I got childhood trauma in toy form. I got Optimus Prime's corpse.
Oh, man. What are your thoughts?
This is just the most messed up thing ever, and I love it.
I went the other way. I just feel it's unnecessary.
I don't know. It is absolutely unnecessary, and I don't know what they were thinking or who said, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's make that. But they did, and I love it.
It's such a wonderful toy that has been twisted and warped into something wrong.
Well, I mean, on bare minimum, Brian, at least it's not a purple shattered glass or...
Oh, yeah. People are like, I'd rather have shattered glass. Screw shattered glass. I'm tired of shattered glass.
I mean, now...
I would want a Toxitron, if anything.
Yeah.
Now, if they had done this as cell-shaded, like they did for Siege...
Oh, man, I would have had to get that.
Yeah, exactly. But I think this is one of those oddities to go sell yourself. It's like, I don't know why I like it, but I'm glad I've got it. kind of
What
thing.
I'd really like to see with this is for them to use that same the mangled new head sculpt and the new battle damage tampos that they added to the sleep mode one, but do it on the otherwise normal colors Earthrise. Like do a release of that as a Voyager without the trailer for movie
Critically
battle
wounded.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Critically wounded Optimus Prime.
He's alive, even if not for much longer.
And the last thing I got was from Hasbro Pulse. I got Psycho Green.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's it's not showing up well on the camera, but the green is a little brighter than I would have expected, but it doesn't look bad. And the paint on this is mostly good. The only very slight problem I have is one of his gauntlets is the you can't even see it on the camera, but the paint layout's just a little off center. So, but other than that, like, they did a good job on this one.
Well, Matt, are you going to get the 5-pack? And if so, what are you going to? I mean, do you think there'll be any difference between the single releases and them doing something on the set?
I mean, from everything we've seen in the 5-pack, there's nothing different about blue or red, which I already have, but I need pink, yellow, and black. So yeah, I'm getting the 5-pack. It should be here first week of August or so. I'll just have an extra red and blue to
Well,
do something with.
I mean, you could make a Psycho Silver probably.
I absolutely expect that in like a 2-pack with regular Zane at some point, since it's the same person.
I suppose, and that would be mildly infuriating.
Yeah.
Cool. Who else got anything?
I got some stuff.
What'd you get?
First thing I got, thanks to Matt, I got the Reaction Bumblebee, which it's so nice. It's my favorite of the first wave. I don't know why I didn't have this already and why I was procrastinating on it, especially because I'm going to hang it on my wall next to my G1 Bumblebee reissue that I got from Walmart on card. And I think they're just going to look amazing together. So thank you so much, because it's awesome.
I mean that's why I think most people. I think Brian has said this before. Why most people are getting those figures.
No,
it's not
you
for the
said
figure.
that, Don. I don't agree.
Yeah. Oh.
No, I think I said that originally.
I like
Oh,
the
okay.
art. I don't think that's why people are buying toys, though. Is the card
Okay.
art? I think it is gorgeous, but I think it's secondary.
I mean,
I
I always
like the
assumed
figure.
people were buying reaction figures, to hang up in their cubicles or offices. It's
Yes.
just, it's an act of show more than it's an act of owning a toy.
Yeah.
I also got Exhaust, and I apparently won the QC lottery because his leg is not that bad.
Oh, nice.
Like,
Yeah,
there's
that looks about on par with the second one I got.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a drop, but not much, and then it stays steady. So, no problems posing or anything. Matt is usually pretty on par with, we like and dislike the same things, and he is absolutely right about that faction symbol. It looks like it's half Autobot with a beard.
It's a Romulan.
It's not
Yeah.
good.
Yes, it is.
It's bad. And I kind of wish that there was something else on there. I might actually put a Decepticon symbol over that. It's just that bad. Well, I also got Grease Pit because he's awesome. He just looks great. I like him more than whatever Ironworks. I
The
think
colors are so vibrant. It's
yeah.
it's really pleasing to look at.
That's what it is. Yeah, nail on the head.
He looks like he should be an Autobot with those colors, but still, it's really nice just to look at that toy with those colors.
I also got my alternate universe Optimus Prime / dead Optimus Prime. Hasbro, third-party companies. I love this. We've been getting dead primes for a while, but no third party or or Hasbro have given us a Zombie Prime. So I am challenging Hasbro and third-party companies. Someone do a decent Zombie Prime, because there is a difference, and we need a Zombie Prime.
And his arm needs to come off.
Yeah, I'm all about Dark Awakening Optimus.
Mm-hmm. I got the non-F kit also for the Optimus Prime trailer, so I'm excited about that. I need to put that together. And then I also got the upgrade kit for Earthrise Wheeljack, because I hate his short little wings on the back. They're terrible. So this comes with like a smoked translucent wing set, which will probably look so much better.
It does.
Yeah. Now I need to pick up that. I'm waiting for him to drop that exhaust kit back on there so I can pick that up.
Yeah, start checking like Friday morning, probably.
Yeah.
I would also suggest maybe getting one of those chrome pens from Michaels or Hobby Lobby, and maybe going over the back side of those smoky wings. Like, leave the transparent on the side that faces forward in robot mode.
Yeah.
But make it so it can look opaque in vehicle mode.
Yeah. I also got this one's in the box still. Let me see if I have one. Which I do. This is the little highbrow figure.
Huh.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. So
Which company is that?
it's one of those Mech Fans toys, or one of those slightly upscaled knockoff. I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha.
I could be wrong on that. This is Vecma, I think is
Okay.
what it says on the bottom of the box. So I could be wrong. Maybe it is a new design. I just always assume anytime I get something this size that it's just a knockoff upscaled.
Hmm.
So if that's wrong, I apologize. I also got my Unicron, or third-party Unicron piece, replacement piece for the piece that was broken. So there was one piece where a tower was broken off. So I got my replacement part. Now I just
From
have to
the retailer or from the manufacturer?
Well, from the retailer. I'm assuming it came from the manufacturer and then to the retailer, but yeah.
I've just never had to get like customer service on third party stuff.
And then I got another Coot because they did another release of him. So
That's Fans Toys Cup.
Fans Toys Cup.
So
yes.
you already have it. So you bought another one.
Yes.
Is this one different?
No, it's just re-released. It's just another cup.
Yeah, but Diecast, when Coot came out, he was running about 89 to 109 in most places. Everywhere I've seen the reissue was 189.
So they just took the two numbers and put them together.
I mean, why?
Why? Because
Because they released it again, Don.
yeah,
Yeah, he has two now.
Fans Toys,
2 cups.
2 cups.
Don and
that hurts
I
your
are both
head.
shaking their heads.
Don, if that hurts your head, I've got
Oh, I'm jealous. Mine hasn't shipped yet.
Oh.
3 Athenas.
3?
Yes.
Why
Why?
do you have 3 Athenas?
Why does he
Well,
have 4 of that third-party Unicron?
They're not Charlie's Angels. You don't need 3 for the complete set.
These 2, I think I accidentally ordered 2 by mistake, and then I realized I had points for Chosen Prime, and I had a $50 gift card, and I was trying to figure out what to get, and I just ended up ordering.
So it is exactly the same as how you ended up with 4 of those third-party Unicrons.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with Don.
And then the last thing I got is Montana, which is the DX9's breakdown.
I just lost a connection. I don't know if that's my internet or somebody else, so. That's fun. I love you, Skype. We're going to go to Montana. Huh. Let me see here. I love you, Skype.
Thank you, Skype.
So the show also got a breakdown.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Well played.
Diecast got Montana.
Yeah, Montana. Because I needed another breakdown.
I've had
Because
enough.
this is also the second. Is everyone back?
No,
Yeah,
it's good
no,
enough though.
no.
We're recording.
I just,
Okay.
I mean, these Fans Toys reissues are quite a bit high. I know that's not Fans Toys, but I'm saying a lot of these reissues are extraordinarily higher, and some of these are less than a year old, maybe 2 years at the best, and they are much higher now than they were.
Well, Don, it's supply and demand.
I know. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, Don, do you want to leave money on the table?
Yeah, they
I
would
like
be
leaving it in my
leaving money on
wallet.
the table.
No, I'm leaving money in my wallet for not buying a figure I already have. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why you bought them. If you missed out the first time, I could see why. But
I usually buy 2, and at the previous time, I sold my second cup, so I basically just repurchased the one I sold.
New segment, leaving money in my wallet.
Yes.
tfradio.net/discord if you'd like to follow along with this witty commentary.
But Don, I can assure you, I did not pay that price. So
I know
don't
you I know you towel about it. It's just I'm just letting the viewers know that these reissues are significantly higher than what they were originally, and I'm not sure if everybody that was sold out of like Coot or not. I have no idea because I didn't like the way that cup looked, but it's just it is a significant price increase than before in some cases.
And then the other thing I got, which I don't have in the room with me, but I got the G.I. Joe Destro figure, which is that looks amazing.
It looks nice. It does.
Yeah.
Mine came today.
I'm still debating picking up Puff Daddy Destro.
You
When
should.
it comes out.
You should.
I like this one better. I would rather have the Iron Grenadier.
I
Destro.
want the one that is, the most ridiculous and just like, lives for the long held joke.
Yeah,
But that's me.
I'm amazed. And then before we move on, I wanted to say those Slither fangs, I saw a photo that you can actually connect those together to make one big snake.
What? You can?
Probably one big weird looking snake since, I mean, that kind of makes sense since they have ramp connectors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw a picture of that on Twitter about like 5 minutes ago, and yeah, it doesn't look too bad. It's just plank snake, head.
Hiss plank, hiss plank, hiss plank.
Okay, cool. Who else got anything?
I got a couple things. I got mainly Exhaust and Grease Pit. Exhaust.
Nice.
Exhaust has the same knee problem as everybody else's Exhaust has, but is otherwise not a bad figure. It's just kind of weird, I think, because I think it's the first thing out of Earthrise that I've gotten that was that I didn't think was just like really excellent. It's merely good, which after coming off of the Seekers and Optimus Prime is just a odd feeling, but it's not a bad figure. Grease Pit, on the other hand, it really is still just an excellent figure. I really like how everything fits together for gas station mode. The colors are great. It's a good figure. I'm really happy I got that.
Cool. Mine will be here next week. Actually, tomorrow.
Nice.
But next week for show purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Anything?
That's it for this week as far as I can remember. Just waiting for some stuff to show up in the mail next.
Cool. John, you here? Did you get anything?
I did, but in the interest of time, you're going. Have you gone, Brian? Are you going last? Okay, you go last. Go.
Oh.
I'm punting.
Okay, so I think I know where we're going with this. Okay, so I don't have anything to add on that alternate universe Optimus, but yeah, it's a wonderful toy that just bothers me a little bit. I love the car mode for RC. I absolutely adore it. I think it's so cute. And I love the fact that you can store her gun, which I really like the gun. You can store it in car mode, and the blasters become, the effect parts become like thrust from the pipes in the back, so it's nice.
Do you find it difficult to take the gun back out from under the hood?
I haven't thought about it. It's stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
All that pink plastic seems to be like extra stiff.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. I also got the clones. So, the clones. I haven't opened them. I don't think I will. Yeah. So,
I mean, if you ended up with the Takara Legends ones a couple years ago, they're exactly the same.
Yeah, I don't remember if I have the Takara versions or the Hasbro.
Well, you better check on that. You might need to order those off eBay while we're doing the show.
I'm good. I just shipped my stack from TF Source so I can get my Athena. A couple other things. I had one of these as a kid, one I didn't. It's the pencil toppers. It's Optimus and Megatron. I had Megatron as a kid, but not Optimus. So, and the next couple things, and I'm done. I want to send 2 shout-outs first. First to Jack for hooking me up with the items. And second to Ant for his recent TFU Info Transformers University podcast on the South American Transformers stuff. So Jack hooked me up with an Argentinian Saltman Z, which is the Twin Twist, and repaint. There's a couple different versions of it, 3 different versions. This is the Antex, which again is Argentinian, and they sub-license Transformers through Estrella, so that it actually may not be legit. I knew basically none of this stuff until that episode of Transformers University. It's just been outside of my interest area, but Jack asked me if I, if I had any interest in these things, and I've always wanted something. I've always thought they were too expensive, so I didn't. I kind of hemmed and hawed and talked around it, and I'm like, how much do you want? And he told me, and I'm like, oh crap, that's way less than I expected. So, so I'm like, yeah, I'll buy that. So also, again, Antex, which I believe are the more common ones. Robocar, which is the Minibot designation, is also the Minibot designation in Brazil from Estrella. It's Camaro, which of course is Windcharger. I got the yellow version and the blue version. So
I guess you could call the yellow version G1 Decepticharge.
Yeah. I don't think I have I'm not hooked yet. I don't think I have the bug yet, but because these are just so expensive. And I just buying a house. So I don't want to spend more money right now than I have to. Because
I follow Andrew Griffith, the former IDW artist, on Twitter, and he lives in South America, and like he says that even there that stuff's basically impossible to find. Like, shops or whatever, you just don't see that stuff even around places in South America. It's not there anymore.
Yeah. I know that there's a Transformers Minibot collector group that's really interesting that I'm a member of. I don't even know I'm a member there because I'm not a Minibot collector, but it's fascinating. Like they're most Facebook groups are trash. They're just horrible. But there are a couple that I think are great. Primarily G1AF, the Minibot collector. I like the Transformers Liberated group, and for the most part, I couldn't care less about most of the others. But I'm actually trying to think of ways just to delete my Facebook, but I need it to like authenticate and post stuff for the podcast. If I could just unfriend everybody and stay in those groups, that might not be a bad idea. But yeah, the Minibot stuff is pretty cool. I'll never own any of this stuff. Maybe there might be a couple pieces that I would have some interest in, but not going to buy anything.
Yeah, the South American Minibot stuff has always looked really interesting to me. Completely inaccessible, but very interesting looking. I wish we lived in a climate where generations would be likely to touch on any of that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and honestly, like, if I ever get it, that Liger, the Red Mirage that I have coming in from China as a knockoff, you know, I don't like knockoffs of new product because I think it's theft. But stuff that's 35 years old, I just don't care. And if you can make it neat, great. I think they should. I think the people in China that knock off G1 stuff should do crazy colors or you know, some of these things just so that you can, you know, people like me who would like to have some but don't want to spend $1 million on it could, you know, just have it. So
Yeah.
yeah. So that is what I got this week. John, how about you?
How about me?
Yeah.
Like what I got? Oh, you want me? You're like throwing the ball back to me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see here. The most interesting thing I got this week was off topic. It was the big 1989 Lego Batmobile kit.
I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Do the
so
minifigs, do they
Nice.
fit inside or are they accessories?
They fit inside.
Okay, because it's just so big and they're so small.
Yeah, I mean, like they aren't obviously in scale in relation to the vehicle, but they do fit inside, and so you know, it's I don't know, it accommodates a minifig as out of scale as it is. But anyway,
so is that still on the market, or did you get that aftermarket?
No, it's still in the market. It's sold out online, but a local, one of the nearby Lego stores actually had a few in stock. So I called and had them pull it, and then I risked my life going to a mall. I plotted exactly like how to get in and how to get out, like in the fewest number of steps.
My Lego store is easily accessible, fortunately. So
yeah, this one wasn't too bad. This
so
one was
what's
pretty
retail
close
on
to
that, if you don't mind me asking?
It's $250. I think it goes for over 300, like on eBay and such. But again, I think Lego stores are your best bet now. It says, I think the Lego online store like implies that they're going to restock it, but stores at that price point probably don't move a ton of them. So it came out like late last year.
I might hit up my friend whose sister works at Lego real quick
Ooh,
while you talk. Just
So John, while we're on this loose subject, the recently announced Lego Nintendo Entertainment System set, is that something that's going to be on your radar in the future?
It sure is. It's releasing next week as a timed online exclusive.
Oh, it's next week?
It's not an online exclusive, but it's as a timed release, like on their online store. Yeah, it's like August 1st.
So you know exactly when it's going to release. So you should have plenty of opportunity to get that, right, John?
Yeah, right. That's how it's perfect. We can all just kind of grab a cup of coffee, kick back, and just hit refresh at like 9 a.m. and then get on with our lives, happy as can be.
It's an amazingly rewarding experience.
Yeah, that is right. Let me check if it's August 1st or September 1st. It's one of those two things. But the point is, it's like the first of the month, and you know, everybody is just kind of confidently just putting that out there. Just come back.
They should really wait until like the 4th or the 5th of the month so people can get their Social Security payments in before.
Oh my gosh! Hey, related to that, and then I'll get back on topic and we'll get the show going. But yeah, it's August 1st. Hoo boy! So that's like next week, basically. Anyway, so the cool thing about like that set is it is effectively like it physically speaking functions just like the normal console. So you can insert the Lego built cartridge, you can push it down, you close the hatch, and then of course like the show-stopping gimmick is that the TV actually has like a crank on the side, and as you turn the crank, Mario actually like platforms and jumps and stuff through a level like on a loop, like a carousel style mechanism inside the TV. Just goes as you crank, and then
it's really slick looking engineering. Like if I was going to spend a ton of money on a Lego set, that would totally be my jam.
Yes, that's it's one of those kind of like wonders of engineering for sure. And then on top of that, though, it integrates with the really cool looking Super Mario levels. Super Mario Lego like level sets that they're coming out. There's little kits based on different levels from Mario. They're about like $60 or so, and the Lego Mario actually has LED eyes and an LED screen in his chest. And he interacts with different parts of the level to play sound effects and can play games. Like you can collect coins by bouncing him around those levels. Well, anyway, when you plug Lego Mario onto the top of the television, he plays sound effects that complement.
Really?
What's actually happening on the TV. So as you turn the crank, he is playing the appropriate sound effects as Mario like goes through the level. Crazy stuff. Sorcery, black magic. So that's that like a series of kits based on Super Mario levels. That's readily available and pre-orderable on things like Amazon. Hint, hint. And then, yes, thoughts and prayers for people trying to order on August 1st the Nintendo set on Lego.com. So anyway, that was the big deal for me, was getting that. Other than that, I got Exhaust like everybody else, and I got a couple filler kits, which are all the rage to fill some gaps in the legs of Earthrise Wheeljack and Earthrise Grapple. But other than that, just another week.
So
Brian, are you still like trying to get the Batmobile? Is that what this is?
So my friend whose sister works at Lego. Due to COVID, she's not actually working in the office, so the Scratch and Dent store, which is how I got my Voltron for like $40, is not available. So, yeah,
womp womp.
So hey, John, I just thought you were going to run with like this whole thing. So pre-orders happened this past week.
Did they?
Yes, apparently G.I. Joe, Transformers on Walmart, on Target. And it's a disaster.
It is.
We're saying we're assuming that it's bots. I don't know that we know for a fact that it's bots. It's mismanagement. It's being mishandled. We know that for a fact. We do
know that the tools exist and are readily available to anybody who wants to learn how to use them.
Yes. So Brian, as you were kind of alluding to, this isn't. I don't think this is even like a nearly a complete list, because there are things like Funko Pops and other things that come out all the time in a similar fashion, and they endure this same kind of disastrous result. But in the last month or so, we had Gigawatt come out on Walmart.com. We had from NECA Toys, which is, along with Hasbro, probably the two companies that are getting absolutely destroyed online on social media for this. But NECA released Walmart exclusive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 2-pack based on the 1990 movie. So that whole line of figures based on the 1990 movie is exclusive to Walmart. So they released that online. NECA also released exclusive to Target online, not just online, but they're also available in stores, which again, good luck. But they had kind of an online release event for Ninja Turtles based on the cartoon, the original cartoon, and that line is exclusive to Target online and in stores. And then, of course, like you said, most recently, Hasbro released a Target exclusive kind of sub collection of the 6-inch Joes, the Cobra Island collection, and all of those releases had the same setup. And so they were effectively, whether they were exclusive to just online or exclusive to, online and in store, they were exclusive to these retailers, Walmart and Target, one way or another. And what happens basically is the vendor, so NECA or Hasbro, hypes this up, like really goes all out to go on social media, to do live streams, whatever they can, to promote the scheduled release of these toys on Walmart.com and Target.com as like an event. And what has happened every time in the last couple months, every time, in less than 30 seconds, in some cases, 6 seconds, the entire stock of everything is sold out. And it goes so fast that if you're not using a bot, the website never works. It never functions. Like you can never even, if you're lucky enough to refresh the page for whatever toy it is, if you're lucky to refresh it, like at the moment it goes live, you're not fast enough, because by the time you click it, the site will not let you add it to the cart, or by the time you look at your cart and try to hit checkout, it's gone. Too late. It's gone. So it's a disaster. And the two things that are in common are Target.com and Walmart.com, and NECA and Hasbro in the way that they promote these events. And not to keep like the monologue going, because I've definitely got thoughts on like what they could do. And I also have some comparisons on the two companies and how they responded to this. Do you guys have any thoughts on this of your own? Because like I said, I've got some other things to bring up too, but I don't want to just go and go and go.
Hasbro's response on Facebook was insufficient when it came to gigawatt or gigawatt. It was just not enough at all. They like, oh well, it's gone. Sorry, it'll be back. Have a great day. It's basically a big F you. Of course, they're in a bad position.
Yeah.
They are, for sure. XP, did you have any thoughts on this? And then I've got, like I said, a little bit more info.
Well, I guess in a way it's just kind of expanding what Brian is saying. Like, Hasbro is in such a precarious position, being that Walmart especially just kind of dominates retail and sets the terms. Like, I'm sure Hasbro wants things to run different than they have, but there's not a lot of power they can bring to this. On my personal Twitter at ChrisRTXB, I did kind of a thread just kind of going through like why this is and how, yes, I want this to be better. Everybody probably wants this to be better. I don't see how this can be better given the current situation, and that's not likely to change. I don't like to have a pessimistic view on this, but it's pretty much just where we're at.
I have a lot more questions than probably John you might have answers to, but I'm comparing it to other stores like Amazon. Now Amazon, we got the not the Seekers 2-pack, the Coneheads 2-pack, and that's pretty much still available. So it anyone who wanted them, if you logged on that first day, you were able to order them. So, I mean, Gigawatt, we kind of know there was only 1985, roughly. So we know why that was such a disaster. But these other releases, who's determining how much stock that they're going to get? Is it Walmart? Is it Target? Is it Hasbro saying this is how many figures we can make for you and make it an exclusive?
It's both.
Because it's all of it.
Whoever's saying, if they're saying this is all we can produce, that's Hasbro's fault. If the store's saying we only want to buy, 3,000 of them, then and they're going to sell out in, a minute, that's Walmart Target's fault.
Within a measure of reason, Hasbro can produce as many units as a store would want to buy. So functionally, in this case, you have to assume that the store is saying, yeah, we're interested in buying just to pull a random number, 7,500 units of this exclusive to distribute through our website and our stores. I think that's what it's going to be.
Just as a hypothetical, though, I think the numbers we're talking about are way too low. Or
they may be low. I'm just going off the gigabit numbers at 1985, and that sold out in like 6 seconds.
But Hasbro again also has, there's only so much throughput they have when it comes to producing something. So it's that 7,500 unit. That's what they can do potentially now, but retailers don't want to stockpile stuff. So you constantly, the supply chain, you expect the stuff to be coming over the ocean, and then basically right on time inventory, it gets back in stock, it gets put in the supply chain, the network, the warehouse gets it, it goes to the store. It's not just like whatever units they have, shouldn't be whatever units they have here stateside. You also have to count in, again, what's on the boat, what's in the factory.
Yeah, and kind of like to play off of that, I don't mind telling tales, and probably lots of people have unfortunately suffered through this. That if you do, I'm not going to specify which retailer I'm talking about, but they may put the vendors in a hard spot where they commit to an opening buy, and they have the philosophy of just-in-time inventory. And they blow through something much faster than they expected, but then they turn around and look at the vendor and say, so when can I expect that second shipment?
That's every retailer.
That I did not commit to, but I expect you to just have for me. So the vendors have to basically sometimes make a calculated risk and produce stuff that isn't sold, but they think the retailer underbought. And they know that the way the retailer works is that the retailer's never wrong, and it's always the vendor's fault. So the vendor overproduces and just bets that they're smarter than the retailer, and they have to cover themselves. Sometimes that works out, and sometimes it doesn't. But that is not uncommon to be kind of pinched in that scenario.
This kind of sounds like how stuff ends up at Ollie's.
Yeah, it can.
It's exactly how stuff ends up at Ollie's.
Well, yeah. and we've actually seen an example similar to this with the last night Walmart exclusive subline, which for the most part didn't ever materialize in Walmart's. It just sat around in whatever distribution centers until Ross and Ollie's and Marshall's ended up with most of it.
Yeah, for sure. But related to the quantities, so like your MOQs and things like that, the minimum order quantities, that's a good question, Diecast, and I have a little bit of kind of we have an indication of like how, at least when it comes to NECA, like where they're getting kind of like squeezed on that. So interestingly enough, and this explains kind of why there are so many Ninja Turtle toy lines and collectible lines right now, kind of concurrently from different specialty vendors, is that apparently Playmates still has the master toy license, and they sub-license to these specialty creators.
That's what I assumed.
So what's been kind of implied is that Playmates has a hand in the number of units NECA can produce, because they don't.
Oh, sure they do. Of course they do.
They don't want to flood the market, or they don't want to kind of just have they don't want peg warmers, or for whatever reason.
It would reflect negatively on Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, the problem is this reflects negatively on Ninja Turtles. This reflects negatively on NECA. So you can basically go to their Facebook, their Instagram, their Twitter, and just see there's the constant stream of like negativity and collectors hemming and hawing and giving up and all this stuff. And so like that, as it turns out, it may be just as bad. So there's that, right? So that's extra complicated when you're sub-licensing your product, basically, right? You have even less control. But the thing that I did want to kind of like hit on is two things. One, the way the two companies responded to this so far, and then two, like what I think they can control out of all this stuff. So first of all, the response. So to date, the most direct response we've gotten from Hasbro, and it was related to the Back to the Future release. I don't think they've said a word really about the Target Cobra Island release, but they apologized for the technical difficulties on Walmart.com. And that was basically it. So their response was, "We're sorry that the site broke," and they haven't really said much of anything since then. NECA has posted a couple times on this, several times on this, and I'll read you their most recent response, which is pretty impressive. Because remember, both these retailers had the same disasters at the same online retailers. So they were affected both. They were both affected by Walmart.com and Target.com in the same way. So NECA on Instagram this week said, "In case you missed our story from yesterday," again, they had posted several times, "we want to reiterate that we hear you. We have read your feedback and criticism. It's become very obvious that recently a number of resellers are using sophisticated bots to capture our exclusives with the intent of selling them. We are in the process of installing features to slow down and stop the bots, including limiting shipments to the same address, putting up a CAPTCHA system, along with other remedies. These features may not be immediate, but we are looking to implement them in the near future. If you can't get them now, please be aware that we are placing additional orders of popular items such as Casey Jones and Raphael and Bebop and Rocksteady. Additionally, we have a nice surprise for you in the coming weeks with an online exclusive that fans will be able to get one of. Stay tuned for details."
That's awesome. I'm glad that they did that.
Right? And then in previous posts, they had mentioned that, while a lot of things were out of their control, they kind of implied that we're trying to work with retailers to do as much as we can, right? So that's a much better response, obviously, than Hasbro. The counter to that is, and Hasbro's kind of guilty of this too, but NECA is definitely still guilty of this, is, obviously they haven't yet kind of like rolled out any of these enhancements, and they haven't had any kind of like concrete, very specific action steps kind of put forward. This is a great response, but it's just kind of like a first response. Since these events, they have continued their normal like PR schedule, like unabated, like this didn't happen at all. So, for the last couple weeks, you can just check their social media feed, and they're posting all the exciting new releases for next year, next month, and just saying like, you can look forward to getting this on Target and Walmart.com, and look at all these great releases, and everybody gets excited. And as if this never happened. And of course, every time they post that, they get hammered. But it's just like it's on some kind of like, well, it probably is like a pre-scheduled social media calendar. But but here's where my last point is. That is where the two companies have full control, right? So the messaging they put out, the way they present themselves online, the way they hype up future releases or upcoming releases, they have full control of that. And they have to alter the way they speak until they fix this stuff. They can't have, on one side of the building, the social media manager just flooding their social media channel with hype as if nothing happened. And on the other side, they've got, these product managers and these brand managers having to apologize and kind of scramble with the retailers to do damage control. You can't do both at the same time. And the thing that made it, I think, extra frustrating for me, or just kind of made me scratch my head, was that in both cases with NECA and Hasbro, they had multiple events like this at those two retailers, at those two sites, and even after the first time it happened, for the second release event, they continued to hype that second event as if there was no chance it was going to happen again. So they just confidently, kind of blindly just hyped it up. We're doing it again. The exact same thing's going to could happen again. You never heard that. So they just kept hyping right up to the minute of release, even though this thing was a disaster for them within 2 weeks prior, but they still hyped the next release as if nothing was going to happen, nothing bad could happen. And so they have full control to kind of like walk that back, tone that down, or kind of shift the focus, right? So they only make it worse by putting all the focus on 9 a.m. Target.com. Everybody be there or be square, right? They're focusing in on an event like that. They're making it worse. Like you're increasing the odds that a lot of people are going to be upset, and this is not going to go well. If they know, like in context, what that release means to the overall availability of the toys, you have to shift the focus. So you have to like with the Target exclusive Joes, the Cobra Island stuff, it should be available in stores in the fall. It's supposed to be. So they should always put that in context. Like when they're hyping up the online event, instead of just talking about that event, what they really should be saying is, now this is like a preview. This is a fun event. We know things could sell out real fast, but don't worry. This will be in stores in the fall. This should be more readily available in the fall online, and just continually like putting it in context.
Well, the Joe Island stuff, or the Cobra Island stuff, that actually is already starting to show up in stores.
Yeah, so that's the message. Like they have full control over that. They should be putting it in context instead of like, because when you put these events like on a platform and make it like this is it, guys. Like stop what you're doing, put down everything, be on Target.com at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and then it's a disaster. Like you made it worse. Like you've got to talk about like the big picture here. You've got to say like, don't worry, you'll have, kind of like how NECA is saying in their apology, you got to make it clear there's going to be other opportunities to get these toys.
So a couple things. One, I know at least with my prior company, the vendor, it was certain vendors, it was in their contract that they have to, they're responsible for a certain type of marketing around their product. It was actually written into their contract when we, did business with them. So I don't know if there's something in line like that with Hasbro and Walmart and Target. They may be obligated to do this in lieu of anything else going on right now with COVID or other marketing channels. I don't know. That's just a thing. But also, it's making people angry. But whether, I don't know, you have to judge whether or not you want to make your customers angry, or you make the retailers that buy your product angry by saying, hey, this may be a debacle and it may sell out quickly. But you're right. At least with a lot of the stuff, maybe not Gigawatt, but most of the stuff, hopefully those scalpers will be stuck with inventory that they can't sell through, and they can go to hell too.
Hey, John.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, my degree is in marketing. I never got a chance to put that into practice like I wanted to with an ad agency, but I do remember some of the basics from back then, although I am working with some outdated information. But one thing I learned during my classes was that the best thing you can do is to monitor your competition and don't do the mistakes they did. That's basic 101. If you're competing in similar markets, they're going to do things that's not going to fly, and therefore you don't need to make the same mistakes because you've seen the results. And I think that still holds true nowadays. And what confuses me is there is plenty of market research available, even if these people had not been at the company, to know that these shortages happen, there's reselling going on. I mean, they know this stuff. They're in an industry that this is very prevalent, has been prevalent for years. And what I don't understand is, why did they go in and both Walmart and Target and Hasbro and NECA say, like, we know in the past things have sold out. Look at the average Christmas season. Look at your Black Friday stuff. It gets gone. There's a high demand. There's issues everywhere. Why would they have not gone in on the front and done a limit of one per person to try to avoid this debacle that they have seen happen in stores. Like years ago, I remember seeing a Black Friday ad. Walmart had $50 Game Boy Colors and $25.
Couple years ago.
No, I'm just saying.
How many years ago?
Guys, I'm old. It all blends. It all blends. I'm just saying they know. Even if this a brand new line of people, if they're in this business, they know. Anyone with any tenure will remember Matty Collector, the frustrations, and seeing in other companies these exclusive launches or products that they sold to companies for Black Friday, and there were issues. So the information is out there.
Mm-hmm. So just real quick on that. So unfortunately, and again, I'm not going to name any retailer in particular, but it is how to put this. It has happened before where a retailer so the most powerful people in a retail environment are the buyers usually, especially when you're a vendor, right? Because they control everything, right? So they control the product mix, they control inventory, they control the vision for a department. In some retailers, you have buyers that are very tenured. They've bought the same category for years or decades. They have a succession plan. Their assistants will someday rise to take their place, and they're very savvy and familiar with their product categories. And then you have some retailers where the buyer a year ago was buying bread, and now they're buying men's shirts. Mm-hmm. And in 5 years, they might be buying tires. So they just kind of get moved around. And they can do that because the retailer itself is kind of a machine. And it's not that like anybody could do the job, but if you've been in that machine and that system for a while, you can just buy about anything because you're just applying the principles of the retailer to the products that you're buying. Of course, the trade-off is you don't have that kind of like nuanced knowledge of any given product category. You just know this is the way we do it at retailer XYZ, right? So they don't have that savvy insight. Now they'll still throw their weight around and want to kind of like appear to have like expert knowledge, but they don't. They can't. It's not really their fault because it's the way they get moved around inside that retailer.
Right.
So what you're doing as as the vendor, you're just doing your best to try to like lobby for what you think is the best decision. But ultimately the buyer decides. And in a lot of cases, the buyer doesn't have that kind of like depth of knowledge, but they're still the judge and jury of what they're going to buy. So you have to get over that hump. And then, like we said, on top of that, you've got contracts and you've got different kind of circumstances and restrictions and things like that. And really, what the buyer wants is they want a certain amount of turn. They want a certain amount of sell through on stuff.
Right.
To some buyers, selling product out in 6 seconds is a great bullet point on their PowerPoint to their boss.
On the resume.
I was going to say because it's an artificial victory for them.
Yeah.
But like Brian was saying, you have to balance that against your customer service, and it just seems like to me.
Well, that was Hasbro.
Yeah, and there's something I've been thinking about on that in that regard, Don, which is that, like you've said, we've had Matty Collector and Digital River as an example on that, but the companies that have solved that problem had to, because we are their entire customer base. Collectors was the collector market was their market, period. We, on the other hand, are a negligible problem to Target and Walmart. So in the short term, at least, annoying us is not going to be a problem they're particularly going to care much about.
But they are at least putting in sections of their stores, both of them, for collectors specifically. And they may have crap there that nobody really wants, but we are on the radar.
But they cannot create Walmart CollectorCon and then not have any kind of idea of what
Sure
they're
they
doing
can.
other than
Apparently they can.
Well, I mean,
Yes,
okay,
Don, I beg
they
to
can.
differ.
I'm just saying, if they want this to be a thing that succeeds and not be looked at as a failure by the people they're targeting, it just seems like there's a lot of common sense stuff that they should know wasn't even thought of. It was
Well,
just like,
that didn't go too bad for me. The Walmart collectors thing. I mean, I was able to get all the items within.
But to counter that point, Diecast, you were able to get all the items because you ordered all the items literally blindly. Because when Walmart launched all that stuff, there were no specific product names, no pictures. There was just a list of Hasbro action figures with a variety of prices. And if you waited around until they started filling in those product details so you could see exactly what you were ordering, some of the highly preferential stuff, like that clean Earth mode Soundwave, for instance, had sold out already.
I
Yeah.
searched for Soundwave and got no
three more
results.
popped up.
I searched for
that's
Soundwave
what-
and got no results because the listing said action figure.
Yeah,
right. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to target collectors, if you're going to jump into this pond and try to sell stuff to this audience, and you can't get a basic website up and running with pictures before your launch, then you need to look at exactly what you're trying to do. And if you're not going to do it, I'm just saying a basic layout. If they're going to make
internet protocol.
So keep in mind this way: the person who's doing this, like, okay, there's several people involved. You have the buyer, like John said. This is not the only thing they're buying. They're buying 10,000 other things. So this is a tiny, tiny sliver of their time. They're having to get time from whoever in their .com, their e-commerce, is going to post this. And they're probably nagging them to do it. They have a million other things to do. It's amazing this stuff works at all. And the way this stuff, this is not a smooth or easy process for anybody. Even, nobody. No, I mean, like, even Amazon. Have friends who work for manufacturers and they sell on Amazon. It's a disaster. So it's amazing we can buy anything online, to be completely honest.
yeah. Because so like, Amazon didn't get their whole inventory of those Earthrise exclusives brutalized within seconds. But at the same time, like, the stuff was not actually normally available to purchase for like 45 minutes to an hour after it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Some of us are just savvy enough to know how to leverage Amazon shopping lists to get access to the stuff before the product pages go live. That's how many of us closer to the launch time were actually able to put in these pre-orders. But like, even Amazon's thing was not smooth, but at least, their inventory did not get run through instantly, because I don't think there are as easily available tools to brute force Amazon the way there is right now for Target and Walmart.
Well, I'll just finish up by saying I know I'm speaking a lot from emotion and old knowledge and stuff like that. I'm just saying that if you're going to create a collector-focused engagement with your final consumers, you need to make sure that what the result you put out is worth everybody's time, yours and the collectors. Otherwise, it's not going to take off. It'll be a frustration. You'll create bad customer dissidence because of the issues as we're seeing right now. I'm just saying, if you're going to do it right, and everybody has the experience to make sure that your pictures are loaded and your website is ready to go. That's basic e-commerce 101.
And you know what, Don? After how the product moved this year, if they decide to do this again next year, they will probably think, okay, this was a success last year. Let's actually put some more time and effort and attention into this, into executing the launch this time, because we know that there is some value in doing it.
Or Walmart's going to say, we don't have to put that much time into it. We screwed it up last year and it all sold out anyway. So,
and Don, so you said it's marketing 101 or whatever. You're exactly right, but keep in mind that what you learn in business school, even today, is often not what actually happens in reality. Reality is completely different in business, oftentimes, than what you should expect.
Right. It just seems like it's so obvious.
But Don, no plan survives first contact with the enemy.
Yes.
Well,
Don,
first
you have to
contract.
have someone at the company that cares enough to say
Yeah.
we're going to put the resources into this that's needed to make it smooth and proper. And it just might not be their top priority with the amount of people they have because they've laid people off due to, COVID and cutbacks and
Right.
rising healthcare costs. I mean, there's so much more that go into this than we can ever imagine.
Oh, trust me, Diecast. I know. I'm just saying that this is a new thing they're doing. They're targeting a specific audience, and the effort they put in to making sure the launch was a success was minimal and not even really a success. I'm just saying, yes, I know it's a small part. I know that they've got other stuff going on. I understand that. Believe me, better than anyone here, I can understand how a store like Walmart or Target works being in retail as long as I have. I'm just saying, if you're going to do something new and you're going to target a certain audience, make sure all your P's and Q's are ready to go so you don't piss off the customer. So you have people wanting to come back and buy your product because it's still missed sales and it's still bad customer service.
And yet
What's
we
it
keep
matter
coming
if it
back,
all
so-
sells?
And maybe don't do it at like 9 or 10 in the morning when people are at work because not everyone has access to, just hop
Yeah, so,
online
yeah,
and buy stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point too. And I don't know if they would want to do that like 5 p.m. on a weekday, but maybe arrange for a weekend morning launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 or 10 a.m. on a Sunday. Now, mind you, you'll miss the church crowd that way most likely, but
Yeah,
that's
the
probably not who
church.
they're aiming for anyway.
Yeah.
And I guess right now it doesn't really matter anyway.
Yeah, cool. Anything else before we move on to news?
Oh, I hope not.
No, good talk, guys.
Good talk. Okay, good
I
job.
mean, I'll admit I'm a little disappointed. I was expecting a little more John rage out of this, but I guess what we got
Oh,
is
we gave him too much time to calm down.
I
Yeah,
know.
I wanted
One of the
that
companies very night.
pretty
I
good.
wanted that very night to get him on Skype and be
Yes!
recording a mini cast and get that as fresh as possible. But
Yeah, but then they
Yes.
apologize right when I post the audio, and then I look all grumpy and foolish. But hey,
that makes it even better listening.
that's fair. I wouldn't be the first podcaster to sound, like a buffoon, because I'm 12
Yes, you're
hours
among
late.
like 6 or 7 of us right now.
So anyway, no, like I said, bottom line, just be a little more honest in your messaging. You don't have to be negative, and you don't have to violate any kind of PR parameters with the retailer. I would just like a little bit more reality in some of these hype videos and streams, and I think setting expectations would just help the whole thing, and you can control that for sure, NECA and Hasbro. So that's it.
Cool. So John Warden has moved on to Power Rangers.
Yeah, how about that?
So
Congratulations to John. I hope it's a promotion. I think
I'm
he's
certain
done.
it's lateral, but
Well,
Yeah.
we're a lateral, but I hope it's something that he wanted to do. And just, I want to personally thank him for all the awesome stuff he's done for this franchise. If he was, which we pretty much think he was, the main one responsible for Titan's Return. I love that line. That's my favorite line ever.
Combiner Wars.
Combiner Wars. The Earthrise stuff is amazing. Siege I could have done without. I wish we would have went straight to Earthrise personally, but hey, there's a lot of stuff that I think, Unicron, if that was, if he had a hand in that, I mean, just there's tons of stuff. We know he had a hand in Slither Fang. I think that was his little add-in that he really wanted there into the line before he moved on.
Don't count out his contributions yet, because the whole next year worth of product, through the 2021 line, is still going to be stuff he was involved in making.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, I just think I can't say how happy I am with John and what he's done for Transformers.
Yeah, thank you, John.
It'll be really interesting to see how Power Rangers shapes itself moving forward with him basically running the design side of things with it.
Especially with the partnership with Toei ending.
I was more thinking just in context of his background with G.I. Joe and experience with action figures and vehicles. But yeah, that too. But yeah, this, if anything, is a lateral move because, as far as I understand, he is retaining the same equivalent title to what he had with Transformers. He's been with Transformers for about 7 years, and I think that's at least as long as Aaron Archer was in a leadership position with Transformers before he moved on from that. We know from talking to these people in the past that the teams get moved around. They don't stay on project permanently. They get moved so they can have fresh experiences and bring their past experiences into new things to revitalize or, change the shape of how those are going to be going forward. It's all to keep the people engaged and fresh and to keep the brands continually fresh. So,
Aaron, just one clarification though. Aaron, his title was like vice president of brands. So
he got way up there.
Not exactly the same role.
No, but I mean, he had specifically a leadership position with Transformers before moving further within Hasbro.
Absolutely. So, hey, let's.
Well, I'm excited to see what John has coming for Power Rangers because he was asked on Twitter, I believe, what his favorite season was, and he correctly answered in space. So that gives me hope for the future.
So I'm also looking at this from another angle too. I want to know who has taken over his job role in Transformers now that he's done.
Yes, I was going to ask, do we know who's taking over?
To the best of my knowledge, we do not at this time.
Is it the mustache guy?
And honestly, they may not have selected a specific replacement for him yet. Like that could be something they're still working on.
Yeah.
We're still in talks, so there is a possibility.
Yeah. Heck, it could be they could ask Aaron Archer to come back. Maybe you never know.
I mean, they could. I don't know if he would.
Yeah. But Matt, do you and Chris, since y'all are the two bigger Power Ranger fans here, do y'all think that Mark was sent over there because Power Rangers is underperforming? I'm sorry, John. Thank you. Do you think he was sent over there because Rangers is underperforming where it should be at this point in their eyes? Or do you think they're just part of that, what Chris was saying, just the general bouncy bounce?
I mean, they might have sent someone with a great deal of experience like John has over there to try to right a ship they're not super satisfied with. But at the same time, I also am not convinced Hasbro at this point has any idea what they want to do with Power Rangers.
If anything, he is able to coalesce ideas and package it into an overall strategy and run with it.
If you would have told me in 2014 that we were going to have 6 years in a row of made up of two more or less coherent trilogy sets of toy lines, I would not have believed it to be a thing that was possible.
Agree.
But John Warden came in and actually made that work.
He's a rock
pretty
star.
Well. Yeah, he is very good at what he does, even if, in the past and even currently we have not always agreed with every specific direction he's wanted to go with the product.
Battle Damage.
And, 1984 forever, but,
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of Dynaman toys we get out of this.
Yes.
I would love that.
I would buy that.
But I would love that.
Dynaman and also Bioman could fit in that too, loosely.
Bioman, Flashman, just give it all to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of people are putting what's this mean for Transformers? Are we going to get out of the G1? Are we going to, get someone?
And we won't know that until we know who has taken over the design lead role for the brand.
Yeah.
Which we probably won't know for some time.
And
anyway,
there's still the brand manager.
We're running long.
Yeah. So you still have to consider the brand manager. I mean,
Yeah.
So, okay.
Which I think is still Ben Montano.
It is still Ben. So Transformers TCG comes to an end. Or one out. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, while this does not directly affect me. I'm legitimately saddened for a lot of people because like the people who were into this were so into this, and I really regret for them that this is going away.
Yeah,
there were a lot of people that really, really were into this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I liked it. I wish I would have had more time to play it. I wish, we didn't run into this COVID situation. I could have went to a couple conventions and played some more. It was always a good time at the convention. There's usually, it got to be like people were actually hanging out in the lobby and just playing it. I mean, it was a fun experience, and it seemed like it was popular with Transformers fans, but I think the problem they were saying is it just didn't gain traction with anyone else.
Yeah.
So it was basically only Transformers fans playing the game, which I guess is
the audience didn't keep growing. I think
they were hoping for a broader audience.
Yeah,
and in that, in making the card game bigger, you would hope that it would also make Transformers collectors, a bigger pool as well, since it's all under the umbrella of Hasbro.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not, growing the brand, even if it's turning a profit, it's probably time to cut it loose.
Yeah.
Speaking of cutting things loose,
though.
poor Kranix is going to plummet to his death.
Yeah, so I specifically want to know what Matt thinks about this next story,
God, it's beautiful.
because I am like 100% behind this.
I love this so much.
So
oh
what
my
is it?
god!
What is it? Tell us about it.
Oh, okay, so it's a diorama set of the Quintesson courtroom with a Quintesson bailiff, a Quintesson prosecutioner, I believe, Kranix, and my personal favorite, a Legends class Sharkticon.
It's
In
gorgeous.
Fluoro colors specifically.
Yes, and like I can't believe this is actually a thing. Like somebody made this for me.
John Warden loves us.
Yes.
Even when we don't love him, he loves us.
Yes.
So this Quintesson Pit of Judgment was going to be one of the SDCC exclusives this year, which of course got canceled and is just being shifted over to a Pulse exclusive to be released
Why
later
isn't
this
it
year.
available for pre-order yet? I need this.
How many are you gonna buy?
Now. Oh,
What,
at least
Brian?
3.
How many?
What is up with that
how many is buying?
Sharkticon? Is that like a different head on it or something?
I don't think so.
Oh, the Alicon.
You mean the
there,
bailiff? The
Yeah.
bailiff? Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a retooled Alicon.
Yeah, that is it's awesome. This
Which
set
is
just-
I think genius. Like
it's funny when I
to-
get. Oh, sorry, Matt.
I was just going to say, way to get us another use out of that mold right away.
Mm-hmm.
What is what's retooled about it? What's changed?
That the robot head.
Is it just the robot head?
I mean, from the pictures, that's all I can see right offhand.
I mean, it's amazing for me. Anthony, who's in our chat, he can attest to this too. That when we go to these events and we talk to John Warden and Ben Montano, and I kept talking about, we need some figures from the 1986 movie, like,
They
a
listen.
Kranix or something. He was like, oh, very interesting. So I wonder, like, how long they knew this was going to be a thing. And I was always thinking, like, eventually we were going to see, like, some sort of Build-A-Figure with these characters. And
They knew for a while.
Yeah, at least 2
They
years.
always know at least
Yeah.
a year in
So,
advance.
in the chat, we're getting some feedback on this. So Vendo said the head and shoulder pads, and they have bigger spikes. And
And
Blade
the
said he
chest might
thinks
be
the
retooled too.
chest may be retooled.
Okay,
And-
this is the first time I've seen this picture that you have
And
up.
Jared says the weapon potentially.
Yeah, so believe it or not, I did not do a comprehensive comparison between the bailiff and the regular Alicon guard. So I am not prepared to talk to what I've observed on this, but like just at a casual glance to me, it did look fairly different from the regular Alicon.
And I'm oblivious. I would
The
say
other
it's the
thing I
same
would note
toy.
about this too, which I did observe pretty quickly. They based the coloring of this Alicon bailiff on the first result for Quintesson bailiff that comes up in Google image search, which is a fan-colored model sheet in colors that are completely different from anything that ever appeared in animation for this character type, which makes me think they might have gone this way for this box set because they're holding the genuine color scheme, which is basically just normal Alicon colors for a later, like, selects or something release of the bailiff.
That's all right. I'll buy that too.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is not going to be the only way to get the bailiff retool.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you guys. Do y'all think that with them having these two molds, however slightly different they are, for these figures, that we're going to be seeing possible selects troop builder sets, like one Quintesson, one bailiff, and maybe a different painted, another figure or another Sharkticon? Just so that way, because this is a troop builder scene, kind of, when you think about it.
I need all the Kranixes. An army of Kranixes.
But I mean, it seemed like for doing a troop building select special, they've made enough to give us enough variety at one per thing. So you'd have to buy, if you wanted multiple bailiffs or multiple guards or whatever the case may be, you'd have to buy more than one set.
So in Studio Series 86, we have listing for Deluxe Gnaw. So there's going to be a new Sharkticon mold coming out, which means, you could see that and a bailiff and something else put together maybe as a very expensive 3-pack or what have you. Like, there would be options for doing something like that. I more honestly think we would see just, the bailiff in normal animation colors released on its own as its own thing. And if you want to troop build that, like, there's nothing stopping you except for maybe reasonable quantity limits if anybody learns a lesson from the last month or so.
I mean, Dawn's going to need more than one of these because they also used that Kranix character model in the Rebirth for one of the Hive.
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
Matt,
yes.
that I didn't realize that until you.
That's why I pointed it out, Don.
Yeah.
Thank you for not helping. I really appreciate that.
I'm glad to not help, Don. It's what I'm here for.
And some of the Lithone character models were also used as generic Junkions through Season 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly the Hive matters here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. It's still a lot of news left, amazingly.
Well, it would have been STCC week, so...
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So Chris posted the podcast, RC News Desk 111, the second Fan First Friday recap.
And conveniently, I bullet pointed all of the important things for you.
Yeah, well, sure. You want to talk about it? I can do it. Doesn't matter.
You can do it.
I'll read. Yeah. So we have an Earthrise Autobot Alliance Ironhide and Prowl 2-pack. That's an Amazon exclusive, I believe.
It is. Ironhide is pretty literally just the Siege toy with an Earth Van skin around it. There's a removable new roof topper part, which is shown in the stock photos pegged onto the arm as a shield, but they say it can also be flipped over and used as a sled, sort of similarly to how the original toy worked.
Yeah, is that the Easter egg or whatever that was suggested that toy would have? I think it was on the preview video. Yeah,
I would assume. Yeah.
So Prowl is Prowl the Siege?
So in the stream, the designer Mark, whose last name we don't know,
it's his last name is very high.
Yeah, I believe it. He suggested that this Prowl was what they're calling a partial off of the Siege mold, but
he mentioned a new bumper.
Side-by-side comparison, also side-by-side comparison using the smokescreen version, I could not see parts with details in common, so I don't know if the term partial also just references like using the same engineering design but not actually being any shared parts.
It's like close but not.
That at one point, and they said yes, didn't they?
They also seem to be confused at times on our fixation with specific terminology.
Yeah.
So, what we can say for sure is that this is obviously sharing engineering with Earthrise Smokescreen, and whether Earthrise Smokescreen shares engineering with the Siege Datsun equivalent molds, we'll have to wait until we actually have a Smokescreen in hand to do the examination. I mean, there's only, so many ways to do that classic Autobot car transformation, so I wouldn't be surprised if they recycled that just to save some time.
Yeah.
So we also got another Amazon exclusive Secret 2-pack, the Coneheads, Ramjet, and Dirge. So it was hinted that Thrust would be another store exclusive.
Yeah, that's a story later on.
Yeah. So, hey, we've seen those before. That's good. They'll be available, at least according to Amazon, like in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. tfradio.net/Amazon.
Yeah. Ironhide and Prowl comes a little later.
November, I think.
Like November, I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense because we've already had at primary retail the original mold for the Seekers, and we almost never get store exclusive retools or recolors before the primary version comes out, and Smokescreen still seems to be at least a month or two away.
With no word yet of Blue Streak at all.
Blue Streak is rumored to be another Amazon exclusive later on, although Thrust was also thought at one point to possibly be an Amazon exclusive, so these things might still be being juggled a little bit.
So,
We have had rumors of Blue Streak's existence, though.
Everyone's favorite toy line, the Netflix War for Cybertron series. And actually, we will have our review in your podcast feed, whether you're on Patreon or through our regular feed on Monday morning. So, heads up. I just need to finish editing it. Gosh, so much to edit. So...
can I get an unedited version of that?
I can send it to you, yeah.
Okay.
So...
It's a mess. It's a mess. Be prepared.
Yeah, hopefully by the time I'm done, hopefully it'll...
Oh, no,
be coherent.
the finished podcast version, I'm sure, will be great. I'm warning Matt that the unedited version of that's going to be a mess, because I remember what recording was
Matt
like.
wasn't there! That makes more sense now. I forgot about that. Yeah, okay. So, but with the War for Cybertron Wave 2, there's another damned surprise unboxing spoiler pack.
Because, I mean, there wasn't really time for them to see how the first one went down
Yeah.
at
Literally.
retail and decide, you know what? No, let's just cut our losses.
Yeah. So
this one seems to be a Decepticon, and we have not been able to figure out exactly what it is based on the number of transformation steps listed, although the current popular guess is a Nemesis colors of Galaxy Force Optimus.
that would be interesting.
I mean, 34 steps. How many steps did Astro Train have?
18?
Less between each individual mode and more total.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I don't care. I think it's actually going to have more Play-Doh, isn't it? It's going to have more Play-Doh. They said it will have the compound.
Yeah.
I believe they showed the package and it says warning contains wheat. So yeah.
Uh-huh.
What if this one's the Delta Magnus colors we've been waiting for?
Oh God.
Oh shoot.
Ooh.
A Delta Magnus colored Galaxy Force Optimus. Just to make us as frustrated as possible.
So there's also Voyager Optimus and Soundwave.
So the Optimus is the Earthrise robot without the trailer, being sold as a Voyager with 2 Battle Masters.
Such a great toy. I'm fine with that. And Soundwave is Earth mode Soundwave, and it's beautiful, and it sold out instantly.
And it comes with Laserbeak with a retooled bird head and just, another Ravage that nobody actually wants. But
Didn't Ravage have some slight... At least it's deco differently. I thought it even had a different...
they both have more complex tape detailing. But the Ravage is only coming with because it's gang molded with Laserbeak.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, it's
Okay, but the thing is, when is it Buzzsaw's time?
Yes.
everyone forgets about Buzzsaw.
Obviously.
So, Toy Detective, tell us about the Soundwave toy.
In what sense?
So what is it?
It is at its core the Siege Soundwave, but they have replaced most or all of the legs, a lot of the arms, and they've changed the engineering around a little bit so that it can transform into a tape deck more convincingly than the square form that you could compress Siege Soundwave into.
Does a great job.
There's no word if it has the lamppost mode or not.
So just from the photos, it seems to do a great job of emulating the G1 look. I would say so. I really hope they redo this as Sound Blaster as well.
I would actually buy that at that point, yeah.
That sounds like a possible selects candidate somewhere down the line.
I mean, or a Wave 3, if there's a Wave 3, since he's a character.
And maybe that'll actually come with a frickin' buzzsaw. Who knows?
Rat Bat.
But we already have a Rat Bat.
Yeah, I know.
We already have a Laser Beacon Ravage, too.
Rat Bat.
Well, some people do. I never bought them. But
there'll be Rat Bat and Enemy this time, just to be as minimally different as possible.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I mean, I hate
we
to
always
say
need
it, but
more Enemy.
Yeah.
So, also, Deluxe Impactor Red Alert, Wheeljack, Bumblebee. And this one was really divisive. Alita 1, people either loved it or hated it.
I like it.
I like it.
I buy it on discount.
I don't like the Voyager toy, at least the look of it so much. It's based off the Generations RC. It basically just has a new head.
I mean, the Voyager one from the Voyager one from Power of the Primes that we got, a year or two ago actually has, the proper animation accurate Alita 1 head. This one is, modeled off the War for Cybertron design. So I'll get this just to use as a, generic scene filler troop builder on my shelf.
What else is different, Chris?
The torso shapes are different for sure. There's a small amount of retooling to the vehicle mode, but it's virtually identical to RC. But the torso is different. There's differences in the arms, and I think part of the legs too. They did a lot of changes to the robot mode, which makes sense because all those parts are pretty much separate from the vehicle, so they can do that without compromising how the engineering works. Meanwhile, though, Impactor, Red Alert, and Wheeljack pretty much might as well not exist.
Yeah.
And then there's Bumblebee.
Really need a third version of that Impactor.
In the worst possible colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we actually have a photo that Takara's Transformers Twitter account posted of production samples of all of these toys. And Impactor's tank mode colors, the tank mode yellow, really, well, it looks a lot like Don's shirt, actually.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it. It's not an attractive toy at all.
And just a reminder, my shirt is actually green in person, so it's...
Yeah, well...
So are Impactor's legs, so...
Yeah, luckily I already have 2 of that Impactor.
Me too.
So I don't need a third one.
I've got 1, and that's plenty.
The funny thing about Red Alert is they took the original Red Alert product render from last year and just put more different battle damage effects over it. So it's still got the sideswipe head in red and the red biceps, which do not exist on the production toy because they can't exist on the production toy.
So,
well, I guess the good thing about all this stuff is it's not really going to impact our wallet that much.
Nope. Well, I'm not
anyway, though, I like the Bumblebee quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean,
it looks like it has a licensed level Volkswagen alternate mode.
Yeah.
I think it even has the VW hubcaps on the tires.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, details like that would come with a licensing agreement, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we learned officially about Grease Pit and Exhaust.
So to give the presenters credit, they did acknowledge that people already had Exhaust and Grease Pit before they made the announcement. And they almost never will do that for stuff that people get their hands on early. I guess they understood that legitimate retailers that they work with just ended up selling these before the official date, so the products were legitimately obtained, even if it was not on their schedule. But I appreciated that they actually acknowledged that openly during the stream.
And
That was nice.
It
Yeah.
was. And I just want to point out again, so Mark seemed very high. He was awesome. But they actually
He's
played off.
high on life.
Yeah, they actually played off of that though. It's not like they were upset about it. Like when they unveiled the Sharktacon set, the Judgment set. It's like they sat there and giggled over video of Transformers the movie playing out the voices. It was surreal. So, also,
it was not the experience I ever expected to have from a Hasbro presentation.
No. So
I certainly wish I could have seen it, but I have to work.
Go back and watch. It's worth
Yeah,
it.
the archive is on Facebook.
Yeah.
I
So
don't have Facebook.
you don't have to.
Lucky.
Yeah. So we actually finally got to see Rotor Storm's head, and of course,
Yeah, so they revealed at the start of that Fan First Friday stream that the Spinister head was a mistake on their first engineering pass sample that they got back. And so they got with the factory and got that corrected, and they had a picture of that they could show on the stream. And also, I found a high-resolution stock photocopy that I put on my Twitter today.
Yeah.
Brian's got it up on the screen now, and it looks good.
It looks really
good,
I'm
Yes,
I'm
it does.
happy with that.
Rotor Storm's one of my favorites, so I'm glad to see this.
Yes,
I'm glad I
absolutely.
didn't cancel my pre-order.
Yeah.
Oh, how great would that have been? That would have been like Brian buying
An MP10
MP10
for $300 or whatever.
Oh, I'm still so mad that didn't happen. But no, I'm pretty sure I would still be able to like get a new pre-order for Rotor Storm somewhere. I don't think they're sold out everywhere yet.
No. So
Tiger Trek.
Yeah, Studio Series Leadfoot is going to be a Target exclusive if you can get it. Deluxe Leadfoot.
Yeah, so that came and went with the G.I. Joe stuff on Monday morning.
And I question, why is it a Target exclusive?
It's hard. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I just like it's hard to hit the bullseye on that one.
Was the Human Alliance one? Was it a Target exclusive?
Yes,
Okay.
Probably. Not sure.
I believe it was because in the U.S. Target is a thing. Now in other parts of the world it doesn't have to be because they don't have Target.
I mean, you couldn't even buy Top Spin at Lowe's. So, and Lowe's is a competitor of Walmart because they the home improvement section of the store and Target as well. So, yeah, okay. So that sold out in 30 seconds.
Or less.
Yeah, we'll be able to find it in store.
Yeah, so it'll be stocked normally starting September 11th, theoretically.
That's another exclusive I didn't even know about.
Yeah. Runabout was found in some system. Which system was it? Oh, it's on a
Target.
Zebra device. So yeah, it's one of. So Zebra is okay. My former company, we bought like 50,000 iPhones years ago, and we were the future. But now basically every retailer uses one of these Zebra devices,
Which is obviously just an Android system.
Yeah. So
Like you could load the software on the phone you have right now.
right now, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was a very Target news week so far. But yeah, so a listing for Runabout was found in Target's system, and we had a follow-up from a Target employee posting anonymously, basically saying that they're like 99.9% positive Runabout is in there as an exclusive to Target, and also Thrust is in there the same way. So
Great.
Yeah.
2 more toys I have to get people to middleman for me. Awesome.
I will do what I can for you, Matt.
I appreciate it.
Hey, didn't that same person say there's also already a ton of Kingdom stuff in the Target system, but they're not going to leak it because they
Yeah,
want to
he
keep
did
their
mention
job?
that because he said that stuff would definitely get him fired.
oh
Yeah.
Which apparently, posting photos of the Zebra readout won't get him fired. But
I mean, that could be
his problem.
anybody. It could be any
Yeah.
Target. You don't have the EXIF information from the image.
Yeah.
Even if there is any. So
Well, yes, if the person was smart who took this image, they stripped the EXIF data before they ever uploaded it.
yeah,
Not that hard to do.
no. Let's see here. What
But yeah,
else?
the point though is look forward, and I use air quotes around that, even though you can't see them. Look forward to at least 2 more Target exclusives in Earthrise this year.
Cool.
Targets are so hard to get.
What's interesting though is that Thrust's product number is E26. The Seeker Elite, the Coneheads 2-pack is E27. But like, it's an exclusive at Target, presumably for much later on. We have no idea when that's coming out. Like, it kind of just is confusing to me for how all over the place these product numbers are ending up with how the release pattern is going. I don't know, maybe that's just me.
So let's see here. There are more Cyberverse box sets heading to Target. This Repugnus set looks
Repugnus' Revenge.
pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, so it's a recolor of that the action feature Repugnus that you actually have one of. And then like that Sharkticon attack set from that was earlier this year, wasn't it? Like in January.
Mhm.
Oh man, that was like 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
So like that, there's little minifigure Repugnuses in there in various colors. And in Season 3, Repugnus type monster bots were just like a form of Cybertronian wildlife that appeared. So that's
Okay,
kind of
that would explain it, because I was about to ask why this is a Cybertronian villains set.
Yeah, pretty much.
It looks great. I want this.
It is kind of neat looking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Very
kinda
G2 colors.
Yeah. I'm kind of into that other set, though, even though I'm not going to buy either of them.
The Seeker set?
Yeah, so it's 4 of the, I guess, Warrior class Starscream mold, the Cybertronian space fightery one. So it's a Thrust, Thundercracker, Skywarp, and a clear plastic Starscream that's obviously meant to be Ghost Starscream. All the colors on them are a little bit wacky for the characters they're trying to be, but like they look really cool, and I kind of like the 4-flavor variety pack for this alt mode.
Chris, is that the better Starscream mold that came out later? I don't have any experience. I've just heard the.
It's the more recent one, so like the older Starscream would have been a more Earth mode design one. This one is a quote-unquote Cybertronian space fightery thing that really looks like it came out of a video game.
Okay, because I heard the first one was absolutely terrible, and that the second one was not bad, but I just didn't want to give it a shot for $15.
Yeah, I don't own either one of them myself, although like the design of that newer Starscream is very appealing to me.
So, one last news item, thankfully. This one popped up today. 3 more.
Oh, it's only been 2 hours.
When was the last time we did a 2-hour show? I don't think we've done one in years.
Blame SDCC.
I mean, we've done live streams that have obviously gone that long, but I don't think we've done a 2-hour show in 3 or 4 years.
Probably not.
Yeah. So, 3 more Transformers Red collection figures discovered. This is interesting to me because I just assumed this was going to be a G1 line.
Well, except that we had listings for Prime RC and a Cheetor in it.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. I completely forgot about Cheetor. I just assumed that. I guess I confused that with the Kingdom stuff that popped up.
Well, you could also say that they're just like related in trying to push some Beast Wars characters in as many areas as they can. The thing with this, well, go ahead and read out what the newly found things are, and then I'll talk a little bit about my.
So a redecoed Optimus, a Starscream, and a Transformers Prime Knockout. And I don't know why Knockout would be the first character they would go with.
Well, it's not. RC was the first one they went with.
Yeah. And Knockout is fairly popular from what I've seen.
Knockout's very popular among the Prime cast, yes. But the thing I'm seeing in common here is that all the stuff they're hitting with this line so far is designs that were never made with the idea of having their show models be viable for transforming toys. Nothing in Transformers Prime had any possibility of turning into the vehicle modes they turned into on the show. You know, it was all CG magic. G1 robot designs don't have any relation hardly to their alternate modes. And Mainframe's Beast Wars designs, especially for Season 1, are in much the same boat. Like, it's a very common theme that you can kind of draw from what Red Collection is presenting so far. And short of giving us stuff like G1 Alpha Trion, Autobot Spike, you know, things that didn't transform on screen at all, it's like the best way they could actually utilize a product line like this.
Don, you'll finally get your Beast Machines Botanica.
Oh, if only.
Not impossible.
Well,
Maybe if they do a big figure, you can get your
Night Scream?
No.
I'm not
no,
gonna
your
say it. I don't wanna pick-
animated Omega Supreme.
Oh! Yeah, I thought you were going to go with
that'd be
Cheetor.
no, but I mean, you know, we've all said for years it'd be kind of cool to see how they finally pull off the Botanica, because she was an interesting character. But making a toy of a plant to a more humanoid plant just wasn't in the cards for so long. But if she doesn't have to transform, she could be a really good looking figure on the shelf.
Feed me, Cheetor!
Now, do you mean Cheetor giving her food, or someone giving her Cheetor as food?
However you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Either way, go either way.
Okay, so that's the news. Thank God. You can go to tfradio.net/Amazon to help us out. It, you know, covers the show. It's not cheap. God, it's not cheap. And we got to get, you know, it would be just help us out. Keep Chris and Rob paid and keep the bills going away. So I want to thank our patrons at the touch level at patreon.com/tfradio. You can also find this at tfradio.net/credits. Kevin Dorsey, Sean Bratton, Jacob Owen Lucia, Sean Hamilton, Jason W. Rye, Mike Mallory, Jason Hiley, Jonathan James, Matthew Dedman, Hector Bones, Nathan Sampy, Spider Bob, Rabbits, Emmett Stresovich, Gaming Fix, Patrick Davidson, and Joey Russell. Thank you so much. I usually update this once a month, so if I missed you, hopefully it'll get corrected next month. But you can become a patron at patreon.com/tfradio. We do actually. I think we're gonna try to do some more just patron exclusive content. I'm gonna produce and post a new RFC Throwback podcast, which starting with the next episode is going to be Patreon exclusive. Looking forward to that. And dear God, if I can find some time, I'll get those episodes of What's Happened to the Headmasters recorded, and they'll be Patreon exclusive until that series is finished, which at the rate it's going could be forever. So
I need to start thinking about a topic for another Toy Detectives episode too,
Yeah.
because it's getting to be about that time again.
sweet. I love Toy Detectives. Okay, so you can find us at Twitter, TF Radio, Facebook at facebook.com/TF Radio, Instagram, all that place. The ones to remember, if you're not subscribing to us on YouTube, please do. It'll help us out. Roku. If you have a Roku or a Fire TV, you can watch us. Just search your channels for Radio Free Cybertron, your channel store, and you should be able to find us. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever. But everything is available at tfradio.net. You can find all the links there. And the show notes for this episode, you can be found at tfradio.net/684. And here in the next week, maybe we'll do we'll do our next episode of Zidane Deal. So if you have questions, send them in, contact at tfradio.net. Or you can text them at 931-99-GOBOT. That's 931.
We also have a channel on our Discord server where you can leave questions for Don.
tfradio.net/Discord. I need to add that. I'm going to add that to the section.
Yes.
Yeah, so don't forget it. So tfradio.net/Discord, there is a dedicated channel for questions for It's a Don Deal.
And I'll also ad-lib something in here too. tfradio.net/news for news desk updates as podcasts and also blog posts throughout the week.
Yes, those have been great. That's really helped us out, Chris. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Love it.
I try.
You do a great job. So you can also send a text for a question, 931-99-GOBOT, 931-994-6268. I'm personally on Twitter at bkilby, Instagram at Brian Kilby, and I post other stuff at briankilby.com. Rob Springer is not here. He's at zonebase.org. And at RoboRobSpringer, John How do people get a hold of you?
That John D everywhere.
Diecast.
You can follow me on Twitter at Diecast2, like my page on Facebook, Reviews by Diecast. And then you can also see all my reviews at tfradio.net/reviews.
Excellent. Don.
Yeah, I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. And again, just as a reminder, I do have an extra set of clones if anyone's needing them. Just retail plus tax and shipping. Contact me on Twitter. If you need them, just let me know. I'll be glad to help you out.
Remember, this is relevant as of July 22nd, 2020.
Yeah,
if you're listening to this in the future, this does not apply anymore.
Yes.
All right. Thanks.
Yes. So by the time you listen to this, Don will no longer have them.
That's possible.
It's most
Maybe
likely
he will, though.
Most
like
likely
in 6
the case.
months. In 6 months, when they're like $150 on eBay.
People will be, hey Don, can you get me that clone set for cost plus tax? So yeah. So also, let's see here, Chris. How do people get a hold of you?
For my toy photography work, go to playwithphotography.com. I have galleries, articles, guides, all that kind of good stuff. Every kind of collected work I have, I put there. Also on social media, I will post random photos. That's Play with Photography on Instagram or at Play with Photos on Twitter. I posted a photo of the Double Dealer Power Masters from Spy Patrol units with Double Dealer out of focus in the background because that was the best way I could use the Double Dealer I have right now. And boy, that thing blew up. Good. I was even getting like favorites and retweets from accounts in Japan. I think it was mostly based on me showing the unofficial combined form for the two Power Masters that looks kind of like Clouder's armor and Master Force. But whatever works, you know. So to see stuff like that, follow me on social media. Also, if you like the photography work I do or want to help me do more of it, just show your support. I'm on Patreon at patreon.com/playwithphotos. You can pitch in for as little as $2 per month. Every contribution helps. Renewals for my domains and hosting and such are coming up very soon. So, that's one of those things that kind of goes toward paying the bills when that comes around at that time of year. So thank you to everybody who has helped to make this possible for me.
Yes.
I'm personally on Twitter at ChrisRTXV. The most recent notable thing I've tweeted, in my opinion, is just a thread kind of detailing my point of view on why everything pre-order sucks at big box retail right now and that there's not a lot we can do about it, but they should still try to do better anyway.
Agreed. Cool. Rob.
Okay, I'm on Twitter currently at Rob Flails. That is the official account for Flail Throughs, my YouTube channel. I cover Gundam Battle Operation 2, which is a free-to-play Gundam game for the PlayStation 4. That just had its second anniversary this week, and they've added a whole bunch of stuff, including the Double Zeta Gundam, which I already have a decent roundup with if you want to see how it plays. This week's update happened on Monday, but other weeks check out Thursday afternoon to catch what is new with the game this week. It does update weekly. If you like what I do there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can throw money at me and request specific mobile suits and weapon and color combinations and all that stuff. And if you
Go ahead.
And if you'd prefer to just throw like goods at me, I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/claylist.
So how overpowered is the Double Zeta in comparison to the normal roster of things that's available right now?
Not as overpowered as you might think. It's pretty strong. It does not transform in any way. I think they might be saving the G-Fortress mode for the enhanced Double Zeta. I'm not sure about that. But if you can land a shot with the high mega cannon, it pretty much melts stuff as it should. So it's just you have to stand still for 8 seconds to charge that. So it's a trick.
I think that's also accurate to the source material, basically, though. So
yeah,
I think they did pretty well with it.
Hey,
I think they did, and like I said, if you want to, I actually do land a couple of good shots with it in the video, so it's up there on youtube.com/flailthroughs now if you want to catch it.
Excellent.
Nice.
Hey, so before we go, I want to paint myself into a corner.
Oh boy.
Because I typically, I have when I do throwback, And again, it's going patrons only at patreon.com/tfradio. I'll have some ideas, and then I'll change them, and by the time I sit down to record, it'll be completely different. So I'm going to paint myself into a corner. I'm going to start over the next several episodes. Maybe, not by year, probably by game, but I'm going to do an exploration of the various Transformers games.
I feel so bad for you when you hit PlayStation Beast Wars.
Well, at least G1, and then probably Beast Wars. And if it works out, we'll keep going. But I'm going to start off with the ZX Spectrum and Commodore 64, assuming I can find copies of those to play. If not,
and at least with Mystery of Convoy, you know what you're getting going in, and like you're not really obligated to do more than a couple minutes of that.
Yeah, with Mystery of Convoy, I'll actually be playing the physical disc on my AVS, so I can actually not disc, the cartridge.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, so I can actually play that one. I'll have to emulate basically everything else.
Yeah.
Even though I have a copy of the Famicom disk system, I don't have a disk drive to play it with.
Whoops.
But, it's fine. So, but we'll start off with the ZX Spectrum and Commodore 64. So you'll be looking for that over the next week and a half. Okay, that's it. This was a long episode.
Yes.
Thank you for being here with us. You're awesome. We'll see you later. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Take care.
Okay, people watching live, guess what? There's no post-show.
Cause
fine.
You've gotten all the show we can do this week.
Yeah.
Yep. So, let's see here. I think that's it. So, people watching live, we'll catch you next week. You're awesome. So, I'll say
everybody.
Goodbye to YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube.
Bye.